Hello, everyone. Raquel, are you? I think your mic was muted for a second, but
I'm
I
here.
think
I'm
Raquel
here.
wanted to say a few words in introduction tonight.
Thanks so much for running that intro. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk on Clobberin Times. Tonight, we have an announcement to make. Clobby is in hospital, and he needs your love and your prayers. And here's the thing. Clobby always says to me, Raquel, the show doesn't go on without you. The show pauses until you're there. Um, But Clobby also tells you when I'm not feeling well, and that happened recently. And he did that because he wanted all of you to send me notes and tell me that you love me and tell me that you're thinking of me. And so tonight, Mark and I decided that we wanted to give you all a chance to cheer him on, to tell him that you love him, to say all the nice things you want to say, and send super chats, notes, whatever you want to send him, um, so he can read them later, and he will read them later. Um, Thank you all for being here. And like Clobby said, um, the show is going to be on pause. And so, because of that, Mark has very graciously organized some comic books that we're going to talk about, and he's going to teach them to me. As you know, Clobby wanted me to read comics, and Mark is a good teacher. So we're going to talk about comics tonight because that's what Clobby would want. That's what this show is about, in tribute to our friend Mark Stephen Jure. So, without further ado, uh, we're going to get to it. And so I just want to say hello to Mark, and and let's get the show started. Let's celebrate everything that Clobby loves. Mark.
Well, thank you. Yeah, not something I ever imagined doing, and we become such good friends. And everyone who knows and loves Clobberin Times, I know I can see all these messages flying by, cheering for him, trying to put a few up as I can. But it's just and his son. I was so grateful that his son could see how much people appreciate him, and he's Clobby or Mike. It's just such a self-deprecating guy. Never wants to take any praise. Whenever I say, "Oh, he's the most knowledgeable person on the internet about comic books," and Blake Seven. Oh, I don't know anything. And then when I ask him a Blake Seven question, he proceeds to quote about 15 minutes of the episode. But he's a really special guy, and we thought it would be a nice opportunity just to get together tonight, and we'll do the comic book show, but also for everyone who wants to, send well wishes to Mike, and eventually he's going to read this. And I told Claude to give him a message when he gets out of there. He has to watch Stargirl with me. So we were telling him to send him some jokes that would annoy him to try to get a reaction out of him. Like, Man of Steel is the greatest Superman movie ever made. So Claude was giving him some of those messages. So and I know it was a tough tough day today. And then he missed my show. I don't think in 3 years he's ever missed one of my shows. Sorry.
It's okay, sweetheart. It's all right.
Sorry. But yeah, so last night he just said he's not here. Where is he? I wasn't gonna do this, but it was also the anniversary of my father's death from cancer.
Oh God, Mark.
I said, "Where's Clobby? At least send a message." So unfortunately, I sent him a message during the show, and Jonathan had texted me, "Oh, this is his son. Give me a call." So then I knew. I said, "Oh crap, something bad happened." So yeah, it's just life is precious, and we're all pulling for him, and he better get out of there soon so we can yell at us for yell at him for giving us a scare like this. But it's tough.
He's going to be here, and he's going to read all of these messages, and he's going to give us all shit. Um, for crying and for being upset. And he wants us, I know he wants us to be strong. And I just want to I want to thank um, Master Son 42 for the wonderful gift to Clobby's family. And Clobby, that's wonderful. And Mexican Iron Man, thank you so much for your generosity. I also want to thank the great Scuba and Leslie Pete for sending such a wonderful and generous gift. And Fat Stephen, um, thank you so much. Um, I know he will appreciate that very much. Um, yeah, it's a difficult time, but we all have to stay strong. Um, and we have to lean on each other. And we're going to talk about some comics because
Yeah,
Clobby
we
would
are.
be
Yeah, yeah.
we would be getting some serious shite from the boss right now. So let's talk about some comics and
Yep.
just encourage everyone to leave as long of a message as you would like to Clobby. Um, and I know he'll enjoy reading them. And he needs your prayers, your love, and your support.
And things do like that do help. I mean, I know they do, and I know the family. I'm sure they appreciate that, and all the support that he's getting. So, and we have kind of two lives, and not in a good, in a good way, where we've got our YouTube community, and Clobberin Times is the center of a lot of us meeting because I first started watching, some a lot of YouTube. I was watching a lot of YouTube, and then came across. So yeah, everyone knows I love the thing equally, Benjamin J. Grimm, and said what? And I was, oh, this guy's got Clobberin Times. I'm like, he must like the thing too. He's got to be cool. So I started listening, and like, oh, he's just such a nice guy. Like, it just reminds me of being in the old comic book shop, and gradually you meet people. It's a circle of people that you meet, and Clobberin Times is the center of me meeting a lot of great people and making a lot of friendships on YouTube. And when I finally got to uh, you know, actually talk to him, live one day. So it was just I was just so excited to be able to, meet. It's one thing to be in the chat, and it's fantastic to be in the chat and interact. But I'm like, I'd really like to talk to him in person one day. It's and when I finally got that chance, it was we became very good, very good friends in the years since. And yeah, and he's the center of that, and he's such a guy that never wants to take any credit, never take anything, and he's so humble. And I think that's one of the reasons people gravitate uh, to him so much, because that's his personality. He's not a fake, phony, or fraud. He's Mike Alonzo. He's Clobberin Times, and what you see is what you get. He's not in it for you know the fame, the glory. He just loves comic books. He loves, Star Trek, and all the hobbies that we all love, and just wants to be able to share that love and that passion with everyone. And I think that's what makes him so special. And he never asks for anything, never wants anything. We try to do things for him. Like a friend. Yeah, you'd say, let's. When last year with the birthday gifts, he was so mad at me for organizing that thing statue. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? And then we send him the thing poster from the splash page from This Man, This Monster, FF.
And we got in trouble.
He got tried, and then he's like, "What's this frame?" And then and like he needs a like, you need a frame for that. Like, did you hang it up? He's like, no, I don't have a frame. So then I sent him a frame from Amazon. He's, what is this stuff that you're sending? What are you doing? And Claude, he would always get mad at Claude, or Claude, I should say. It was great talking to Claude at length today under difficult circumstances. He was a big
Mm-hmm.
help.
He's
And
been
he would,
wonderful today.
and Clobberin Times would always say, God damn it, that Claude, he dropped off an action figure from, in a grumbly way. He brought something I don't need. I don't have room for that. What's he doing? And so yeah, it was but that's just him. Like, most people would be like, oh, what can you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. So he was please don't don't say Claude, but that's Raquel. That's Raquel. Yep. So, but
That's your name, Minimus. That's your name.
Minimus, yep, yep. And thank you to Michael
Michael
Beacom.
Beacom,
Says,
yeah.
if you want to read that, Raquel, or
No, you go ahead.
okay, please convey to Clobby our concern and prayers for him from Cassandra and myself. Her father passed from heart issues at 74. So when I told her the messages I had, she reeled as if hit. God bless. Yeah. Well, thank you, Michael Beacom and
And Son
Cassandra.
Lee.
Yeah.
Holy moly,
Suddenly.
Son Lee. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you, Son Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. So, and then Mark the Infinitely Tired, who spells his name wrong, but I still like him a lot, says, Clobby doesn't remember, but when we met, I worked at Gold Dragon Comics. He and Buddy Turk were friends. So yeah, there's and Clobberin Times, he would a Valiant Renegade bought comics from him. Just then, and of course the great Mark Steven Charay, who the show is in honor of. Bought comics from him, and years later they became very good friends. And I always love telling the story. Stick to some comic stories. So Mike was in a comic shop years later, and found comics that he'd graded and boarded. So he was telling me about that because he's like, "Oh, I graded and boarded all these." He's like, "I recognize the handwriting." So yeah, it's just some great fun times we've had, and I'm looking forward to many more. So we did that nice anniversary show. What was that, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? That was so when what was his 500th YouTube? I can't remember the numbers now. My brain is frazzled, but his 1500 show, was it, or what number show was it?
It was
Astronomical.
1500.
1500, yeah.
1500 and 500, right? So 500
500
on
here.
YouTube, but 1500 on
Yeah.
on like his blog career entirely.
Yeah. We have a super chat from Patrick Burt.
We do.
So Patrick says, let me read that. Mike, I'm not always able to listen to your shows, but I love the format. Feels like a bunch of friends getting together to talk about fun stuff we all love. Looking forward to seeing you back soon. And Fat Steven says, Mark the Infinitely Tired always spells it wrong. Yeah. That's for sure. Yep. So thank you very much, everyone, for those super chats. And I know they're going to cheer Clobby up, although he might get mad, though. Let's make him really mad tonight with all these super chats. Like, I know I got into trouble one time when I think we needed like 5 more memberships to get the next avatar or whatever, so we could do like a Neelix avatar or something.
Yeah.
Something silly, and then I think we ended up getting like 50 memberships that night or something like that. And he was like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "It's all for you." He was yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that said, I would really like to reiterate, even though it's going to probably get me in trouble with everyone, but I just want to reiterate, this isn't a wake. This isn't a celebration of life. This is all of us sending our notes and our love to Clobby. And, I've known Clobby now for like 4 years. And one thing I learned very on in our relationship is that a lot of people have deference, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't have, and you shouldn't have done that." And what they really mean is, "Well, thank you so much, and I'm humbled by this beautiful gift you gave me." But it's really important for me to speak for Clobby right now, because I know he would want me to, that he's definitely not the kind of guy who has deference. He really means it. He's such a special, dignified Southern gentleman that the last thing he would ever want is to, be virtually standing on the street corner with his hat collecting money. That's not his personality. This tonight is actually going to be Monday Mark C comics. We're going to talk about comics, and we're going to do this Clobby's way. And I have to make sure that happens. About 3 years ago, Clobby was in a huge storm, and we all lost contact with him. And I was really scared. Everybody in my family was scared. And so we all secretly raised money to send him a generator and an air conditioner. And he got so upset with me. He said, "I need you to do me a favor. I need you to return all of the money." And I did. So it's really important that we abide Clobby's wishes, and that we afford him the class and the dignity that he demands as a capable, handsome, strong, tall, wonderful, brilliant man. And so we all have to make sure that we keep this in that context. We're here to do Marxy comics, and we're here to do it his way. So I definitely encourage you to send those comments. I definitely encourage you to send those notes. I definitely encourage you to send the super chats. And it will all, obviously, it goes directly to him. And that's cool. But just remember this special guy. It wasn't a put on. He really is that Southern gentleman who wants to rescue everyone, like Batman. Batman was his first word when he was a little baby. He watched Batman. He loved Batman. It was his first word. So just important to remember that Kobby is this super dignified guy behind the scenes who would never take anything from anyone. And it's not deference. It's not, oh, you shouldn't have. It's real. And so let's make sure that we keep it in that context so that we're acting in a way that he'll all be proud of us for. Does that make sense, everyone?
Thank you for that. Yeah, and I just want to give it's the chats are flying by so quickly, and this is a tribute to Clobberin Times, how he touches so many people. But the future rule of Earth is here. Very good friend of Clobberin Times and the show. So he says, I had to pop by when I heard I've lost too many good friends, and I pray that Mike will pull through and come back to PCB with us. So I'm sure he'll do that. I'm sure he's looking forward to that, and it's just it's a great community here. We have here a lot of people that care a lot about each other. So it just it's a nice this is a nice way to continue the Marxy comics talk, and until Kobby can get back, hopefully sooner rather than later, and be here on the show with us again, obviously. So yeah, we do have some comics to show, but yeah, let these good thoughts keep flowing through, and
keep them coming,
it's great.
folks. Keep them coming.
Maddie's daddy's here, longtime friend of Clobberin Times. I guess, can I say in person? I guess, how do you define friendships? But longtime friend of Baton Rouge area, New Orleans area. So great to see Steve, and I talked to Steve at length today too. So
and Ace Cast Iron is here as well.
And Ace Cast Iron as
who
well.
Has been friends with Kobby for many, many, many years. In how do we say it, in real life? And Tex is also here, and Tex is a part of Kobby's real Global Geek Gang in real life, not his YouTube one, but his real one. So Tex is here also. So waving hello to Tex.
Yeah, so saying, and it's great to see all these well wishes flying by. And do I have the Maddie's dad? Do I have Thor? We run out of room sometimes on all our videos, but I don't know if we still have Thor. But I know what Mike loves to play all these clips. So we did have a request for a Clobberonimo, so let's do that.
Clobberonimo!
And we'll give him a groovy. Because I know those are some of his favorite.
Also, the one with the gun. Can you get the gun one?
The boomstick, or the
scary movie that I can't watch because it's too scary.
You can't watch the Evil Dead.
Yeah, but the guy has like a gun.
Yeah, I think we ran out of room. Let me check. Let's see here. Let's see if it's under this one here. Because I keep making all these clips, and Mike's like, "Can you clip this for me?" I'm like, "Sure, I'd love to clip that. Love to clip that for you." So, well, here's one of his favorites.
The two Utes.
To what?
I don't think. I think we ran it. Sometimes what happens, we run out of room. But I know, Raquel, that this is going to make you annoying, but this is going to make Mike laugh. So I'm doing it. Damn it.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
So we're gonna all have to watch that movie together.
That's right.
Someday. Now you can't escape, and
I can't escape.
You can't escape that. You can't escape that. Escape that movie. So it's just one of our favorite, and that's a typical quote unquote guy guy movie that you know only guys quote unquote. That doesn't mean ladies, but my wife vowed never to watch it again. I don't think you made it through the movie, but yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah. So thank you for all these. Just
Wolverine, thank you. SP4H, JT Kirk, just everyone, thank you so much.
yeah, we've got a lot of people in here right now, so I hope I doing a okay job of showing
You can
these
handle it, don't
comments.
worry.
But I don't want to miss. We try not to miss anyone, but I'm semi flustered tonight too. But it's great to see all these great well wishes piling in, and just understand if we miss one of them, it's you can blame Mark because it's in my contract. You can blame me.
Yeah.
So
Well, it doesn't matter if we even say a word here, although we definitely want to, because I know that Clobby is going to read every single one of these. And if you
Yep.
know Clobby, you know that he will read absolutely every single one of these messages. So every single comment counts. Every gift counts. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and as Doomcock says, yeah, God bless Mark C, Admiral of Doom and Cardinal Sin. And I just got a package from Ari, Cardinal Sin's brother. Of he was giving away graciously some of Cardi's items, and I'm holding one of Cardinal Sin's challenge coins down. So it's tough, but it's a nice. I was planning on doing an unboxing with Clobberin Times and Canadian Spider-Man. Hopefully, it's some other Cardinal Sins friends just to get together for a few minutes and enjoy another unboxing. Because the last unboxing I got invited to, and I was kicking myself, and I didn't. Was really tired that night, and couldn't. I said I got to go to work early in the morning. I can't do it at 2 whenever the time was, and then you never know what's. And that was his last unboxing, and I just every moment is precious with friends and family. So we're wishing him really speedy recovery there, and then he can clobber us. But let me switch my mic to the other mic, and we'll talk about these, and we can show some. I just grabbed one of my random long boxes from the basement, and then we can also
Good stuff. Good stuff. DC, I love you. You've been such a good friend to us. DC, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So, Clobby, is that you in the room across the hall going off about Manistool and the Acolyte? I hope so. And then, the Sunday night geekery show, by Hal 24/7. We're gonna, I had on my show to talk a little bit about, Doctor Who. I always, I have, and then I'm like, oh, he was ranting about that last episode, so I can't wait till we can talk about it some more. But I was waiting for him to explode on that latest Doctor Who episode. But we'll get that chance. We'll get that chance someday soon. But that's what brings us all together: the love of all this IP and these comics and everything that we love. So we'll show, and I'm gonna be kind of away from my desk. I'll be on the other desk. So
do you want me to start taking over the marquee?
Yeah, if you want to do the marquee, and then
okay, you go
ahead. I can kind of read, but if I miss comments, everyone, it's because I'm away from my desk, and
everyone understands.
I kind of glance at them.
Get those comic books out, because when Clobby gets back here, if we don't talk about comics, he's going to kick your butt all up and down the universe. You don't want that.
I'll be clobbered. Yep.
Yeah, so, you don't want to get clobbered. Thank you, Vulcan Lives.
So
and Glinzer.
Glinzer, yep. Let me see if
DJ Ronnie G and Dave.
What I should do is grab my iPad, so I'll just go for now, so I can see some of these comments rolling in. But this was like any comic book collector. I have like 10 long boxes that need to be organized and sorted, and I just was I've been moving some of my comic books to storage so that I can have more room in my maybe clean up some of the basement, and I've been putting them in some of my storage unit at work so I can and they're a lot safer there because we're my basement can flood, and that's the one thing you don't want is God forbid a flooded basement. I know a lot of our friends in Mike's neck of the woods. Unfortunately, I know Mark C. Stephen Charay lost all of his comics tragically to a flood, and so I figured it'd be safer to get him knock on wood to work. And this is in one of the random boxes I was flipping through.
Nice, nice.
And I just said, "Oh, Tales of the Thing." So that's our guy. I don't know how much he would like that art, but that's
Well, rip it apart then, because if that's what he would do, that's what you should do. But the first thing you have to do is you have to open up the inside, and you have to give us all the information. You know, the information that Clobby always gives us right off the hop. So I want to know who the inker is. I want to know who the editor is. I want to know it all, Mark.
Okay. Yep. So let's put and big in this. This is not even boarded. I got to go through a lot of my comics and board them, but this one, see Raquel here. This is what you want. You always want the easy open bag, the self-sealing bag. It's kind of like that 3M tape on it. You don't want to use.
But you don't want self-sealing stem bolts. Just the self-sealing.
No self-sealing stem bolts.
Cover. Yeah. Yes.
So who? This is modern Garbaggio, he might say. So this is who's the writer and artist on this one? So Alan Kupperberg. Okay, so Paul Kupperberg, Alan Kupperberg, very famous comic book writers. Kupperberg plot. I've met Paul, his brother. Michael O'Hare pencils. And inks, Mustafa Musa. And Brandon Thomas writer. So if the plot, Kupperberg probably came up with the idea for the story, and then Brandon finished it. So
this isn't the style of the Thing that Clobby likes. The eyebrows.
Oh, this I just grabbed this. This just happened to be in that box. You can see how old this is.
Yeah, but who cares? Just talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's just fun.
You're an expert at comic books too, and I know that he would love to hear say. So tell me what's wrong with this Hulk. Well, first of all, it's not a Kirby Hulk, but tell me what's wrong with this Hulk.
Oh, it's just no definition there. It's too cartoony now.
Yeah.
I just don't like that. I like a little bit more realistic art, and this is a cartoony art set. It almost seems like it's geared towards really young kids. And I've read this. I can't remember this.
Oh,
which is horrible. When you read.
Okay, so like you read it and it was such good quality. Remember?
No, if it's in my collection, I just have I'm a bear of limited brain, so some of the stuff you just you read 20,000 comic books, that's why just some of them you just kind of forget after a while. Yeah. They're not that memorable. So I mean, a Hulk Thing battle is always fun. But yeah, so here this was. They would never do this again, but this was 40 years of Amazing Spider-Man on CD for $50. So every Spider-Man comic book. So I bought a bunch of I have a bunch of these collections, and now of course they have the digital model. But we had 500 comics for $50. And I know you don't like reading digital, but as we got older, the print
I hadn't even read a comic book until I met Clobby, and then Clobby convinced me to read comic books. Patrick Burt has made a comment in the chat that I think Clobby would speak to immediately. He says, my 20 long boxes are in my garage. I'm always worried about them. Did you know, Patrick, that after Clobby didn't own the comic book store anymore, he had to cut back a lot on his comics. And he complained to me that one of the worst things about living in Louisiana is the humidity. And so trying to preserve and store comics is like impossible where Clobby lives. He just said it's just the weather is always working against you. So I definitely think he would answer your comment tonight by saying something about how it's, if they're in a moist situation, they're in danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah, if you can, the best is to keep them in climate controlled air under, with air conditioning, bagged and boarded, and depending on how old the bags are too, sometimes you got to go back and reboard them. Now, even if you slab your comics, I'm not a huge fan of slabbing comics, but
if you do, you can actually there's a desiccant in it that you can actually change every 5 years or 10 years. There's a that takes the humidity out of the comics to help preserve them. So even if you have slab comics, you still have to maintain them. Now, for a comic like this, that's not not worth it. But this panel is actually pretty nice too, because this just reading this, it's puny humans should not call Hulk names, should not make movies and then laugh at Hulk. And that's the Hulk that I do love, the old Hulk, not the Professor Hulk, as much as I love the Peter David run, uh, and Mr. Fix It. Uh, this is the more simple, childlike Hulk. I do miss that. We didn't get that in the Marvel movies, but sometimes people just don't understand guys like us, so they say things they shouldn't, but it ain't their fault. Whose fault is it? Nobody really. I guess it's easy for folks to forget that deep down we're just like they are. They don't realize we have the same problems, the same fears. Hulk fear. Hulk fear that puny humans will never leave Hulk alone. What does Thing fear? The people always judge me because of the way I look. That no matter what I say or do, a lot of folks will always be afraid of me. Hey there, oh man, Ben, what's going on? So I think that's a really well written panel, and I like that art there. And that pretty much sums up Ben Grimm, and the Hulk, is a misunderstood monster, and that's why a lot of people identify with Ben Grimm or the Hulk, or in real life you might you know not look like Captain America, and then sometimes you can get misunderstood because of your size or your bulk or uh, you know physical traits that you can't a lot of times you can't really you can't control that.
No, you
So
can't.
that's
And
so
Clobby was
that's
like that. He's big, he was tall, and he pretended that he was clumsy, but I don't believe that. I just
yeah.
want to interject because I just want to say to Doomcock DC, I love you very much. Thank you so much for coming in here and for spreading love in the chat and just making everyone um, feel better. I know that Mike would love that you were here. And Clobby and I love you very much. And I just think it's outstanding that you were here to comfort everyone and to offer words of love and encouragement. Good night, sweetheart. And I will pass along
Thank you.
that you said that you love him.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it means a lot for everyone to be here and uh, give these well wishes, and it's just it's we share a love of a lot of different things, and can see how special Clobberin Times is, and how he touched he's touched so many people and will continue to do so. So
Yeah.
um, just thank you so much, everyone. It's just great to hear that. And thank
Okay,
you again for all
so
these super chats and everything and all these well wishes.
Okay, so now we have to turn this back to the way Clobby would handle it, or we're going to both be put in the agony booth. The Tetrarch of Apathy, so apathetic, says, Raquel, I wonder, is there a comic book counterpart to a humidor, which are used to preserve high-end cigars? Yeah, and some of the coolest ones that I have seen were in Cuba. So the Tetrarch is asking you if maybe you could unpack the temperature and humidity devices for
Well, the
comic books.
best well the best way to do it is obviously you've got to kind of do the whole room. I mean, other than an individual comic that's been slabbed, like I said, they do have desiccant in there to take out the humidity and protect it, but that wears out after a while. But really, it's where because the nature of comics. I mean, if you just had if you're lucky enough to have like a, Mason Fantasy 15 or, a valuable comic, yeah, you could store that and say, safe deposit box in a bank. But what I would recommend is getting them into a place that's climate controlled or that has, air conditioning. So anything with extreme temperatures are bad. So a lot of comics, like Clobberin Times would tell me, yeah, if you kept comic books in an attic down in Baton Rouge, after a few summers, the paper's just going to fall apart. Now, these newer comics have much better, higher quality paper, but the older comics, especially, it's the paper is much less forgiving, and it'll just won't last, and any extreme temperature changes will just eventually destroy that comic. So the best is to get get into a place that's doesn't have temperature extremes, and like in the Northeast, we have a lot of basements, so basements aren't too bad, but you would probably want to have a dehumidifier in your basement during the summer months so it doesn't get too humid. And also, you want to have good, acid-free bags. So you want to spend money on good uh, comic book protection in bags. So you can buy some, especially in the old days. I think most of the bags today are pretty darn good. But you always want to make sure you buy. I buy the BCE bags or the Mylar bags, especially on your better comics, and make sure they're bagged. Like this comic's not boarded. The place that I buy comics from now, Atomic Empire, automatically bags and boards all your comics. So a lot of these I bought, and back in the day, for a while, when I started collecting, you couldn't buy comic book bag, or I didn't know where to find them. I was a kid in the '70s, and I remember like I had like about 100 comic books, and I uh, what I did, I just had like bigger bags and kept folding them over each other and taped them all up just to, preserve or put some of my comics in bags, but they didn't even fit. And mom wasn't going to let me send away money for comic book bags. And then, boards, I don't know what year boards came in, but so a lot of these comics, or you just, you're buying the comics and I got to buy the boards too. It's expensive. So, um, I but I'd recommend that too, especially if you know you've got anything you think might be valuable, uh, to take better care of those or change the bags on these. So this is my R box of R to S box, so we'll just flip through some of these quickly, but not open these up. But I just randomly grabbed one of my long boxes, and so this is RoboCop. So we'll just flip through some RoboCop, and I think some of these might have been Frank Miller.
Oh,
I think it was Frank Miller writing this. Let me pop open one.
I'm just going to shout out Ezra Goldstein. Ezra, shalom, my wonderful friend. I don't think that you're on social media, but I mean, you're at every single one of our shows. Ezra, Clobby had a cardiac arrest and he is in hospital. And so we're hosting this show because he is going to be back. And, he would want us to run the show. But also, we both agreed, Mark and I both agreed, that it would be a great opportunity for everyone to send their love, their hope, their prayers, their just warm wishes, loving thoughts, super chats, just anything anybody wants to say to Clobby. And as soon as he wakes up, he's going to read all of this, and his whole heart is just going to be filled with so much love. So yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. And thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being such a good friend to Clobby all these years and always being in the audience. You're a good friend, Ezra.
And hail to Storm Poopus and Dave C. I did get your package the other day, and I did show it on Saturday Night Star Trek. And sorry I didn't send you a note on the Twitter X's. And then today was obviously crazy, but super appreciated that. And then I did show that on the last Saturday Night Star Trek this weekend. So these are just some great RoboCop covers. Yeah, I love RoboCop, and some of these were, I think, written by Frank Miller. I can't remember which ones. And of course, Clobberin Times would know exactly who wrote what, and he would know all these artists off the top of his head. So this comic's from 1991. That's it. Always like that cover. And RoboCop is another great, man, monster, Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein story.
It's another homage to Mary Shelley.
Yeah. So huge. Oh, this RoboCop 2. Okay, that's written by Frank Miller. RoboCop 2. And adopted for this. So these were, how many books were these? 3 books. And RoboCop 2 had some great moments. Oh, here's the Frank Miller series. Yeah, this series was off the wall. This Frank Miller RoboCop series. I'm not opening this up because there's some NSF stuff in there.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, I only own a few. Let's see, limited to 1,500 on that one, but it's very adult. But it's an off the wall. It's an off the wall series. I thought I owned more of the Frank Miller ones, but I don't think it was that well regarded. But Frank Miller, I thought was perfect for RoboCop 2. So whenever they were following his storyline off of RoboCop 2, the movie was much better movie when they delved more into the man monster aspect versus the shoot 'em up. Let's see. Let's grab. So we went from RoboCop to let's go to the ROM.
I love you, Ace Cast Iron. I'm sending you a smooch for your face and a big ol' hug.
Let's go to ROM. So let's go backwards so I can keep these in order. And of course, the good thing about not having backing boards, even though you should have backing boards on your comics, I got to go back and do that. These great old ads that you can see. So this is Tutankhamun television game. I guess this is for Atari. Looks like an Atari game. Yep. So yeah, just you can see the great ads in the back. Oh, this is a couple out of order. So this is the Sad Sack. So my grandfather would bring me back comic books on the weekend. In the beginning, he started bringing me, comics like this Sad Sack and Beetle Bailey, or you'd have Richie Rich, Josie and the Pussycats, quote unquote. Sometimes could be considered girl comics, although little kid comics just like Casper.
Girl comics. Does that mean
girl
they come complete with cooties? Are they pre-cootied?
Yeah, cooties. My sister loved them. Yeah, and then one day he brought home a Superboy comic book at Adventure Comics, I think 435 or I forget the number. I'm like, Grandpa, I want more with Superman in it. Give me more Superman. So yeah, that was a lot of that was the start of my collection. Oh, Crystar, and they just came out with an action figure of Crystar. Hasbro is just selling that, so enabling here too. So number 3, I didn't even know I had any.
Always
Crystar
enabling.
comics.
Always enabling.
Always enabling. There's Sabretooth. Yep, there's some Sabretooth. So this is in the S's, I guess. And here's my. Oh, I guess I have ROM. I don't have ROM 1. Damn it. I have ROM 2. I thought I had ROM number 1. ROM annual number 2. We'll see what I own. Maybe. Oh yeah, because the annuals. We're going backwards, so I can put these back in the box in order. And of course, these are the Lego techniques. And of course, interrupt me anytime, Raquel, for read any of these messages or anything. But
No, just let
Yep.
people right now,
Yep.
including X, including the X or what's formerly known as Twitter. There are 232 people here tonight. And so I just want to give everybody a chance to just look at the comics as the clubby is here, but also have that chance to send all those cards, all those messages, and all that love. So I think everything's flowing just wonderfully. Please continue to talk about comics.
Yep.
And then we won't be put in the agony booth when he gets back.
Yeah,
Because-
well, I'm just letting you know. Yeah, if you see something, feel free to interrupt me.
I sure will. I sure will. I'm
Uh,
putting the good stuff every once in a while up in the marquee, and everyone is talking and visiting, and that's exactly what Clubby would want.
Yeah. So if someone could goggle this, I think this is one of my grandfather's comics. I'm remembering this, I think. So this is probably, if someone Googles ROM annual number 1, I'm betting this is either 1977 or 1978. So if someone wants to check, check. And Ezra loves ROM. Yeah, I love ROM. It's great. Of course, I love the Micronauts too, as everyone knows. But what's beautiful about ROM and the Micronauts is that we got such great stories out of toy IPs that the creators came up with. Such Bill Mantlo on the Micronauts with Michael Golden. Those first 12 issues are phenomenal, and that's one of my favorite comics. Obviously, everyone knows I love the Micronauts, and of course, ROM is right up there. It's just such a well-written story, because of course the humanity of ROM is, and that's another homage to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. He's a
Yeah.
man monster, stuck in the armor, and he can never leave the armor, and they're fighting the dire raids. I own 2 of these. I bought this at Comic-Con last year. I forgot that I owned it. I was buying some ROMs, and that's the thing. When your comics are tucked away in the basement on shelves, they're tough to get into the boxes. So one of my plans is
He
to put
sent me
them-
that ROM. That
did?
one
Oh,
that's
okay, great.
65 cents. Go back one.
Oh,
Go back
This
one.
one he sent. That one.
He sent me that one. for one
Okay.
of his intro extras that I made for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yep, yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's a
Clobby
great
likes that
cover.
one.
There we go. So
That's one
I
Clobby
won't get the
likes.
agonizer. We'll get the agonizer for that one. Good. And these have all been well written and read, and some of it's like, who cares what they're worth, or they're just just so much fun to read. And of course now a lot of this stuff is getting, because of the nostalgia factors, ROM has been going up in value, which I guess is fine. But everyone remembers the Star Wars the arcade game. This is the Parker Brothers. This is the Atari cartridge, I believe. Yep, 2600, 5200. Yeah, ColecoVision. So here's the Diet Rasa number 60. Oh, I got duplicates.
Oh, you got two.
That too. Yep. You never know. It was a lot of times you go to the dollar bin and you're like, oh, I like that cover. So you buy it twice. Yep.
I just have to interject. I'm so sorry. I just want to say hello to Apollome's Minion. And
Oh.
my buddy Tex here, he says, it's time to clock out. Hang tough rock. Mike will make it. The good guys always win. Tex.
Thank you, Tex. Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
Tex.
Yep.
You
I know
can
you're
get a
good
hold
friends
of
with
me
Mike,
on
yep.
WhatsApp or call me whenever you want. Thank you very much. I'm sending you all my love. Good night.
Good night. Yep. So here's that's a Jack Kirby-esque collage cover. So that's a tribute to Jack Kirby there. Nora Strikes Deep. So these ROM comics all dealt with some great psychology about being trapped in this armor and fighting the Wrath. There's Starshine Unleashed. Oh, this is a great issue. This number 50. That was a gooder.
Folks at home, Mark now says it's a gooder. And I think even Clobby has said it one or two times because they're hanging around with so many Canadians that they're now using Canadianisms. So it's not grammatically correct. And that's what makes it funny to Canadians. So if something is like really cherry, it's super high quality, we call it a gooder.
Yeah, you're a bad influence. Oh, this
Sorry
was a
about
good.
that.
Love this comic too. Yeah, that was a great comic. Yeah.
Ace,
These are
I
all
love
good,
you.
but yeah.
If you need me, just text me. You have my phone number.
And
I'm here.
who can never forget sea monkeys, right?
Baby
Oh,
shrimp.
baby shrimp, baby sea bugs, and
Yeah. What
that's
Clobby
one of
would
the
call sea bugs. You don't want
sea
to eat
bugs.
sea
Yeah.
bugs. Any kind of sea bugs.
No,
None. No shrimp.
zero.
And none
No
of your
sea
sea
bugs. Yeah,
tongues. None of your sea tongues. Ooh.
that's for sure. Gross.
Ew.
Gross stuff. Yep. So, yeah, that's just horrible stuff. Sorry, but
Yeah, Ace.
no clam
Please.
pizza tonight.
Yeah, just please try and go to sleep. I love you too. And everything is, yeah, he's gonna wake up and everything is gonna be fine. And I just love you so much. Please try to go to bed. You haven't been to bed. You texted me so early this morning. You haven't slept. Just try and go to bed and just know that I love you very much, and you could text me at any time, okay? And I'll answer right away. Good night, honey. Just try and sleep.
And Divas has never slabbed that sad sack comic, Mark. That book is meant for reading. Yep. Oh, I remember reading that when Grandpa brought that one home. Yep. And I don't think maybe if I do slab some comics, I might slab like my FF49 or anything that's fortunate enough to have up there in value. Oh, I love this. Oops, love this cover.
Claude has to
Submariner.
leave. Minimus, thank you for everything today. Thank you for getting a hold of me this morning. You've just been so wonderful to me today, and I just appreciate you so much. If you need anything, please call me on and do it through the WhatsApp because then it's free. And I sent a message to his phone, and I hope someone will play it for him. It's on our walkie-talkie chat on WhatsApp. But yes, will you please whisper in his ear that I love him?
Yeah, thank you, Claude. It was great talking to you today
Good
in
night,
the
hon.
tough circumstances, and really appreciate you being there and giving us updates. So that's really appreciated. So yeah, Claude said he couldn't figure out how to use WhatsApp, but maybe there's a young in there who can tell you how to put WhatsApp on your phone. I know he was trying to.
I
He was
think that
telling me.
Clobby's daughter is here.
Yeah, so maybe someone can help you put
She's in the
WhatsApp.
chat.
Oh, she is. Oh,
Yeah,
God
I
bless
know her
her. Yeah.
name, and I don't want to call her out unless it's okay with her. But I just want to say hi and just send her a hug and thank her for everything.
Yeah, we're thinking of you and your family.
We are.
Right now. I know, even though we've never met, Mike has become like family to Raquel and I, and a lot of us in the on YouTube and on Twitter, and it's we always talk about meeting. Hopefully meeting in person someday. I know we're trying to plan something for the fall, maybe, to get together, and praying that that happens.
Ash, it's
Happens
already
soon.
on
Yeah.
his phone. He has two chats. One is called Clobberin Chats, and that one's been going on for a few years between the three of us, Mark, Clobby, and I. And then there's one that's just from me, and then there's one just from my daughter. My name is Raquel Briggs.
That's in the on his phone, on the WhatsApp phone.
It's on his phone in the WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yeah, that's where we call the walkie-talkies, and we've been
we call that the walkie-talkie.
We talk on there.
Thank you,
lot,
Ash. We all are just sending all of our love and support to you, and thank you. It's so incredible that you shared everything with everyone today, that you took the time to do that, and then you came here. You are such a beautiful daughter, and he loves you with all of his heart.
We know that, yeah, because he talks about
he talks about her all the
time. Yeah.
Not on the show, but in
not
private.
on the show, off in private. Yeah,
in private.
Yeah. And John and his
Jonathan.
son too. Jonathan too, of course. Yeah. So, I love that cover. Yep. Jack of Hearts. Yep. So we're trying to do. I don't know how long Ash has been here, but we're just trying to do a Monday night comic book show, and just figured I'd grab a long box and see what's in here, and talk about comics, and talk about how what a great guy your dad is. So
yeah. It's our pleasure, and it's a great honor. Your father is one of the best friends I've ever had in my life. I've only known him for 4 years, but I love him with all of my heart.
And I know Mike would yell at this cover and say, "That damn win a Toys R Us shopping spree that ruined my comics." Or this one here, yeah, this Marvel comic be worth $2,500 to you. So it had all these ads, and the other one is the Columbia bicycle one. So I know he'd be ranting. He'd be ranting about those right now. So these are my ROMs. Oh, I gotta complete my ROM. Oh, I have ROM 3. So see how old this bag is, and like I've got to when I move these to work, I've got to rebag and board these. It's just an old, ancient bag. You see the tape turning yellow, but yeah, I got this.
Well, at least you don't smoke cigarettes, though, so it's not in that bad of a shape,
No, but yeah, it's this. Let's see what year this comic is. Is this 77?
Yeah, Deepak Martin. Yes, he would.
Yes, he would. Yep. So what year is this comic? Let's see. Who is this? This is February 1st. February 1980. Okay, but it could have been one that Grandpa brought me. My grandfather later in life, he was a toll booth collector, and he was in a really bad accident driving home on Thanksgiving Eve or Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, because he stayed up all night. He worked, had Thanksgiving and then went to work at night. He was working a night shift and he fell asleep, unfortunately, driving home. So he was uh, permanently handicapped after that crash. But then he would work it didn't stop him though. He worked his ass. He would always work and work and work, and he just wasn't that mobile with his one leg that was really bad, and so he'd work. His brother-in-law was they had a taxi cab business in Mount Vernon, New York, and every weekend Grandpa would go work there, and there was a newsstand next to the taxi stand, and so he'd bring 4 or 5 comics. So like brought, I remember X-Men 108. I still remember when he brought that comic book home to me, and then I'd just ask him for Grandpa, any more comics you can get? I'd love to love to have. And yeah, it was just a fun thing for us to really fun thing for us to share, and just really love being able to share that with him. So I always look forward to having having Grandpa bring me back some comics. So that was the start of a lifelong hobby, and I'm sure that's how a lot of people, I'm guessing, maybe got into comic books. I'm not, someone, when you're young, someone had to probably buy you a comic, or maybe you had an older brother or sister who had had a comics, and get away from my comics. I can't touch my comics. But
someone has to introduce them to you. And prior to folks falling in love with television, comics were it. But this message up on the marquee is from Ash, and he says he loves you too. I know that for sure. He has talked about how you correct his grammar all the time. Ash, if there's anything you need, please let me know. Just phone me at home, and I will do all that I can. And when the time is right, I'll come down there. I don't want to get in the way right now, but yeah, I'm just sending you so much love, every ounce of my love to your heart.
Here, and I never correct Mike's grammar because I don't know what I'm doing. Kel is our best grammar policeman out there, and I don't think that I don't think that your grammar police cosplay would I don't think many guys would mind if you corrected their grammar if you're wearing that that outfit. I'm sorry.
And the grammar commissioner,
just adding a little levity to
that's good
to the moment.
Clobby would love that. Clobby would love that.
So here's Swamp Thing. So this is the Saga of the Swamp Thing #3, and this is I call him a Grandpa comic or a Papa Al comic. So I'm sure that these are around that time period that he would have brought these home for me. Although I don't know if my mom would have approved, or the Catholic school would have approved of these scary-looking zombie-like creatures in here. But these were scary, scary
Nightmare
comics.
fuel. Nightmare fuel.
And I don't know if I got to look those up. If those are reprints, or what the deal was with the Saga of the Swamp Thing, what volume. And then now here there's a comic book that is pretty famous, and I'm not going to take any blame for making you watch the TV show, but I remember, we hang out in the chat sometimes. I'm like, I got to get to bed, but I have too much fun. We've been hanging out all night on the show, and then we spend another hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours talking. And when I said, Sandman's going to be on, was it Amazon or Netflix?
This 100% happened. No, actually, you were even more innocent than that, because behind, like in the green room after the stream, all three of us were there, and we're shooting the bull like we normally do until ungodly hours of the morning. And you went through your Plex list of things that were coming out and things that were new. And you just very casually said, the Sandman.
Yep. Because I love this comic. Now, Clobberin Times is not like the Sandman as much, and
No.
it's fine. I mean, everyone has their own things that they like or dislike or gravitate towards, and I just love the Sandman. And as I mentioned, oh, it's coming out on Netflix. You went and watched the whole thing. Were yelling at me. I'm like, I never said to watch it. I just said it was going to be on TV.
And Mike
So
laughed so hard because I was yelling at you for this horrible. It
yeah,
was such
my
a
poor
bad
Mark.
show. It was so poorly done. Jonathan is here. Everyone, Jonathan is here.
Oh, Jonathan, thank you for
You're playing the
being
show for
here.
him right now. Clobby, I love you. Clobby,
Thank
wake
you.
up. I need you to wake up right now, Clobby. Everyone is here. Do you know right now that including X, including Twitter, there are 315 people here. And they all love you and they all want you to know how important you are, how funny you are, how kind you are, how much you've taught them about comics and about being a good person. We all love you so much. And
Yes.
I'm making sure that everybody does it your way. And when you wake up, you're going to read all these beautiful messages and you're going to get all of these gifts, and it will have been done your way. I promise. I love you, Clobby.
And if you hear this, you're going to have to watch Stargirl finally with me. So yeah, that's one of our running inside jokes. But keep teasing him. I think even Claude said, like, why don't you just watch it, Clobberin? I was like, but then they win. Which
Okay,
is true, right?
so
So
now,
this is Sandman.
yeah,
Oh, remember the show Time Tracks?
no.
Starring Dale Midkiff as Captain Darian Lambert. This is Captain Finity's probably his favorite show, I think, all about time travel. I vaguely remember this. Yeah, so he would travel back in time to catch criminals. He was a bounty hunter. But these Sandman covers, anyone, were all painted, very interesting looking covers. I remember when Hook came out.
Oh my, that's a face
This is
palm.
Sandman special. Oh, Steven Seagal on Deadly Ground.
Oh boy.
Fat Stevens. There's Fat Stevens' favorite. Yep.
Well, at least he doesn't look like he has that shoe polish beard like he does now. He
Yeah.
looks like he applies his beard with shoe polish. Babylon 5.
So this is an ad for Babylon 5, which Clobberin Times just started making me watch. So I just started watching Babylon. I'd never watched Babylon 5 all the way through. I've watched episodes here and there, and I know you love the series, and a lot of people are huge fans of Babylon 5. So finally started to watch that, and he made me watch some of these, Red Dwarf recently, which I thoroughly
Clobby loves
enjoyed.
Red Dwarf.
Yeah. So
It's good stuff.
I got to watch Red Dwarf thanks to him. Yeah, so even though these aren't, they should all have backing boards, but it's fun to see it's half the fun of seeing the ads in the back. Remember Demolition Man. So comics don't have those ads. Oh, and here we go.
Okay, I have
USS
to read
Enterprise.
something out
Sure. Yep.
because
Read
Clobby
it out.
is
Yep.
listening, and Max Redstone would like me to read this out to Clobby, but I'm not going to yell it because I'm not going to yell at Clobby. There's no need to yell. But Maximum Redstone says, "Wake up, Mike. Wake up, Clobby, or the Salkinds are going to Lester cut everything."
For sure. Yep. And Red Dwarf is is one of the best series. And it's the same thing. Like I'd watch some of the series but never got into it. Like I had friends who really loved it, and then I just just loved it when I got to read it. Now, of course, this is the Enterprise is yours to command on Game Boy, the next gen. Another great Sandman cover there.
Sean wants
These
to
are
say goodnight to Clobby. Decepticon, Sean, good friend of Clobby. He says, "All right, Clobby, I'm turning in. Hope you're strong and well very soon." And I agree with Gwagnar. This stream could use a smidge more of Stan Lee bashing. Take care, all. So evidently, Sean he's raised a great point. We need to do some Stan Lee bashing. and it can commence immediately. Good night, Sean.
Well, Sandman was created by Stan Lee, and I remember
The
Bridget
jokes
Fonda.
write themselves. The jokes write themselves.
I remember Bridget Fonda, how her career took off when this movie came out, or around that time. She was a she was a big star, and then kind of disappeared after that. So these are some more.
Ash
Oh,
says he
Double
raised us
Impact.
on Red Dwarf.
Great. Yeah, because he always quotes Red Dwarf to me,
He
Lister and
does. He
Rimmer.
does.
Yeah. So he's been yelling at me to get the rest of the Talkie Toaster clips clipped for the show. So I did. And when I say yell, I mean we just tease,
Yeah, he
teasing, not
doesn't, yeah.
yelling, but just teasing, like, because I love doing the clips for the show. So, and I've been going through Red Dwarf, and especially Talking Toaster. I mean, I got to get some more.
Would you like some
Mag.
toast?
Yeah. And we have a lot of debates, Raquel. We talk about you off stream. Would Raquel like Red Dwarf? And we have an ongoing debate. And like 1 week, like, no, we probably shouldn't suggest that you watch it. Might be a bad idea.
You know what it was? I think it was The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think The Princess Bride is when Clobby was like, I'm sorry, Mark, you can't recommend things to Raquel anymore. And now, like, he's like, he says to me, I know you so much better than I knew you all those years ago. I know know much better what you like now. And so he's trying to get me to watch Doctor Who.
Yeah. And he kept saying, "Let it go. Raquel's not gonna watch Princess Bride." But I'm like, it's inconceivable. She has to like it. And look at this this misogynist title: Lynx Eat Boys Lunch. So this is all obviously an ad geared towards boy, but the phenomenal Atari Lynx gaming console, and then you could connect the games and play at once. So that was a great console, or handheld console, that never made it, but had a lot of great features. So those are my Sandman comics.
Okay, Clobby, D. Bud Martin is in the chat, and he says hello, and he just put in the chat Ace Rimmer. I'm going to get Mark to explain that to me when he comes back.
So, Ace Rimmer is the the hologram. So Rimmer was a hologram on Red Dwarf, and so what happened in the future on the ship? Lister's getting punished for bringing a cat onto the ship, so they put Lister into a stasis chamber for punishment. So everyone on the crew dies because of Rimmer screwing up the some maintenance on the ship. This happens in the first episode. Minor spoil, so it's a minor spoil. So he comes back as a hologram. So you can have the ship can have one person coming back as a hologram to live. So they bring back the AI brings back Rimmer because he thinks Lister will get along with them, and it's the most annoying guy. So Ace Rimmer is a counterpart from another dimension. That's he's like a superhero comic, and he's got really long flowing hair. So he's basically like a superhero. So it's like he's just a swarmy kind of guy. So, and he's going through time, and eventually one of the stories, quote unquote our Rimmer becomes an ace Rimmer. And so they're basically like cops that are going throughout the universe. But he's like the cool version of Rimmer, except he's not so cool. It's just one of the great characters. Yep.
So since Jonathan has been so incredibly gracious to play this show for Clobby, this is Clobby's show, and we did it so that everyone would have a chance to talk to Clobby and send their love to him. If anybody wants me to say something to Clobby, you just go ahead and put @Clobby in the chat and say what you'd like to say, and I will say it, and I will read it, and Clobby will hear it. Okay, everyone?
Thank you. Yep. So here's some Secret
Ooh, she's
Defenders.
beautiful.
Oh
Kobby
yeah,
loves
that's
redheads.
Julia Carpenter. That's Spider Woman. So she was actually in that terrible, terrible, terrible movie that was out with that just was a massive flop. But Sydney Sweeney was playing Julia Carpenter. So instead of being smart enough to say, "Why don't we put one of the most gorgeous actresses right now in the costume and swinging around fighting villains," the Madam Web movie decided to have, like an hour of the Scooby, and no insult to the Scooby Gang, but it was like a Scooby Gang type movie. And my wife actually watched it. I don't know why Maureen watched this movie. I know it came up on her Netflix, and I'm like, why would you watch that? I haven't even watched it. I guess the algorithm, it comes up with all women, I guess. So it popped up, and Dakota Johnson's in it, and yeah, it's just a terrible, terrible movie. But you can see how gorgeous, uh, you know, Julia Carpenter is, and
Yeah, she's
they
beautiful.
she's beautiful. Yep, yep, great costume. Yep. This is Mirage, Dr. Mirage. I'm forgetting I had any of these. Yeah.
Hungry Boy is in the chat. And
Hey, Hungry
he's
Boy.
changed his name to Hungry for True Doctor Who. And so I'm going to read his message to Clobby. He says, Clobby, proper comics survived as long as they did, thanks to your acumen and fine taste. And JT Kirk,
Thank you.
JT Kirk, he is Kirk. He says, where are, he wants me to do my Counselor Camel Toe impersonation. Where are you? And he wants, JT Kirk says, wake up, Clobby.
Yes. And here's Savage Dragon. Yeah. Versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They've got the old toys. I've Nick Weiser was here like that. So this is, I didn't even know I had any. I didn't even think I had Savage Dragon comics.
Well, aren't you happy you went through this box? Max wants to say another thing to Clobby. He says, Clobby, please stop being a smeghead. We have several shows to do later on several topics. This includes Superman 2, Blake 7, and you damn well know it. So that's from Max, Clobby.
So that's another Red Dwarf quote. Oh, dangerous curves ahead. I think Clobberin Times would over that. There we go. That's the right way. Yeah, so that's Smeghead. That's Lister's line from Red Dwarf.
Okay, I thought so. D. Bud Martin says, Clobby, get well soon. We have many more Iron Man comics to review together, and Spider-Mans, and Fantastic Fours, and Sergeant Furies, and ... So D. Bud Martin has filled up your dance card. So get better.
Thank you. That's some weird art from Eric Larson. I don't think Clobberin Times is not a big Savage Dragon fan. I know.
Well, I'm pretty sure he'd like that butt, though, because that was a nice butt. That 70s rock fan just walked through the door and said,
hey, Brian.
Clobby, you are a wonderful human, and I'm thinking of you, buddy.
God, Raquel, if you could only smell this box, you would love it. I know Raquel likes the smell of old comics.
I like the smell of old books. There's nothing in this world that smells like a library, like the Trinity Library in Dublin. It smells absolutely incredible. You walk in there and it's just, you never want to leave.
Yeah. But even the box has a smell. The box has a smell. This is a box that's probably 30 plus years old. So, and it's been in the basement. So it's got all those basement old timey smells. Yep. I didn't even know I had this many Savage Dragon comics.
Evidently, you're a fan.
I mean,
and
I do.
Dr. Mew just walked into the chat, but Dr. Mew isn't his real name. Dr. Mew is Retro Dicky from the Global Geek Gang, and he was on a daytime show with all of us during the what do you Americans call it again? The coof. We call it the vid here. So Retro Dicky, I will send that along to him. And Retro Dicky says, Clobby, I'm sending my love to you. Please get better.
Thank you, Retro, for being here. Yep. And yeah, we talk about you a lot and miss you. And always love seeing your Twitter stuff. And Retro Dicky has one of the most amazing Doctor Who collections out there. I was always amazed on that Global Geek Gang when we were all stuck at home, during the vid. And that's how. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. How I got to meet, Clobberin Times and everyone. I remember that one of the times, like, I can't believe I got the link to Global Geek Gang. I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be on the geek with the geeks and the nerds. And
Oh my gosh,
God, I was excited about.
do you realize that I've known you now for 5 years? So I guess I've known Clobby longer than 4 years. I've known him 5 years now. Wow.
Yeah,
Where the heck
I
does all the
forget when the
time
first
go?
show was. I forget when the first show was. And thank you, Stephen M. Carlisle, for that nice note too. I'm kind of reading from a distance with my glasses. It's a
Did
bad
Kal-El
prescription.
send a note?
Well, just thank you so much for doing this show tonight,
Oh, I
Mark
didn't
and
see
Raquel.
that.
It's not a super chat. I'm just seeing it scroll by. So
Oh, I didn't even see
I'm
that
just
appear in the chat. Sorry, everyone. I'm kind of out of it.
no, it's okay.
Oh, I
I'm just
see it.
one
I
of the
see
few.
it. Kal-El, the real soup, says, thank you so much for doing the show tonight. Mark and Raquel. Yeah. No
Thank you
thanks
for
are
that, yeah.
necessary. I love Clobby so much. And to me, it's incredible that his amazing son and his beautiful daughter came here tonight and that they're relaying all of this to Clobby and that Clobby's listening to us right now. He's hearing everything you're saying. He knows who's here. And I can't wait to wake him up.
I'm
Please
sure
tell
he's got
share
this
my
book.
thoughts on Enterprise in the near future. Yes, Kal-El, I know. Clobby and I talked about this. We knew there was going to be a huge drop off in viewership and listenership when we started Voyager, and I love how you always stop in and say, as soon as you're done Voyager, I'll be happy to come back. I know we love you so much. We miss you, and we're going to cover Voyager, and we're going to have so much fun. We're almost done with Voyager, and then we're going to be doing Enterprise, and we're going to have a ball with it. It's just going to be so beautiful.
For sure, yeah. So
Patrick
here's
has to leave. He says, I'm off to bed. Clobby, I hope when I wake up tomorrow morning, you are already up and reading all of the amazing comments sent tonight. Patrick Burt, I love you, man. Thank you so much. That is the best message to Clobby right now, and I hope it goes straight to him, and he just wakes up. And yeah, thank you, Patrick Burt. Good night. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh yeah,
Mark.
yeah. Oh, and is Princess Fiona headed out too now?
I don't know. Where is she? Where is she?
Good night, all of you beauties. It's a real blast at 11:24 p.m.
11:20. How come I can't see that? Hold on. Let me go find Fee.
Or 10:24. What at 24 after the hour, I should say.
Okay, I see it now. Princess Fiona, Fee 505. Good night, all of you beauties. It was a real blast to have everyone all together. Raquel and Mark, sending much love your way. And Clobby, wake the hell up. You're needed here. Fee 505. Good night, Fee.
And is there a dream girl on this cover? Oh yeah, I think there is.
I never even would have known about Dream Girl if it hadn't have been for Clobby.
Yeah.
And doing that cosplay for him and for everyone on the Global Geek Gang was it was an amazing experience. And I had so much fun doing it.
It was a fun show, yep.
Yeah.
And Paul Kupperberg always felt that Hancock was ripped off from one of his short stories. I've gotten to meet him and know him, and he had a compilation of short stories, and it was very similar to that story, so he wasn't happy. Secret Invasion, Who Do You Trust? So this was back when I thought Secret Invasion was a pretty decent storyline. It was much better than the Garbaggio that we got on the horrific miniseries that we got from Marvel that I didn't even finish watching. If you told me as someone reading some of these comics years ago that there would be a Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, series, I wouldn't even finish watching it.
Well, with chesticles like that, I can't imagine that it would stay a secret. Anonymous says, I gotta go, but prayers for Clobby. God's
Thank you.
hands of healing and comfort for the family and friends. Anonymous, thank you so much for that. And I know that Clobby heard every single word of it. And Dr. Mew wants Clobby, Retro Dicky wants to tell Clobby that hailing frequencies are now open, Captain.
Thank you, Retro Dicky. Yep. And some of these, I think I put the printed labels because the titles were so obscure when you're trying to put them in order. All these ridiculous, multiple versions. And I always hated this. That's Bucky as Captain America, but I always hated that metallic outfit. I don't know what you guys thought of that out
I
there in
don't
the
think it
chat,
should be
but
metallic.
yeah, but just it was
Ooh, that
Bucky
one's
as
scary.
yeah, Super Skull. That's a good cover. Yep. Bendis, you, Morales, and Martin.
Kal-El
There's
says to Clobby, thank you for your kind words, Raquel. I see you're all currently reviewing Voyager's last season. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. I've now watched the entire run of Enterprise twice in order to prepare. I am ready. Kal-El, the real soup. Clobby is going to love that you watched it twice. It's good stuff, isn't it?
yeah. This is May 2nd, 2008. Iron Man is out in theaters, so that changed the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe forever. So that's and of course this is this cover here. That's Nick Fury that we grew up with until the version of Nick Fury from the Ultimates took over.
Interplanet Janet is here, and everyone knows
Hey,
that
Janet.
Interplanet Janet is a galaxy girl. Janet from another planet. Good evening. Sorry that it's hard for me to deal with everyone in the chat tonight. My head's not with it, but I would like to let Clobby know that you're here, and that you would like him to wake up now. And so you heard her, Clobby. Janet said, it's time. You've had enough shut eye, and it's time for you to get up. And your reward will be ice cream.
Well, there's some Tomb Raider. If I know, I was in touch with Michael from RetroBlasting today too. Who's another real life friend of our buddy, the two Mike. So I know he's a big supporter of Tomb Raider and all things Tomb Raider. So that's the ad from the back of there. What's it? So Secret
Yeah,
Six, number 1. What the heck is this ad in the back? Old
Oh
Spice.
my.
Oh my. Secret Nick Fury, Secret Agent of Nothing Warriors. Yeah.
JT Kirk just yelled, wowzers. And I just want to let Clobby know, Clobby, there are 390 people here, including X. 390 people, boss man. We're all here for you.
Yeah. And this is another comic that my grandfather brought home for me in the 70s. And Secret Society Supervised. I read the heck out of this comic. Oh, I read this over and over. Yeah. Captain Comic dares to attack us again. But this time our new leader will completely destroy him. That's Girl of Grodd there. Star Sapphire. And yeah, it's just great.
That's a cool cosplay. Star Sapphire.
Cool Star Sapphire, yep.
Yeah.
And then these, I have a bunch of these pewter statuettes. So they have Batman, a lot of different Batman ones. I have a ton of these. They did.
I always worry about pewter though, because pewter used to have like a whole bunch of lead in it, and
yeah,
then
just
like
don't eat it.
You're not allowed to touch it, and if you do touch it, you have to wash your hands, and you can't touch your mouth, and so I've always avoided it. I remember being told that after I bought a pewter statue, and I was like, "What have I done? Why do I have this gigantic piece of lead?"
I have a ton of those statues, and I turned out completely normal. Secret Six.
But imagine if you didn't have all those statues. What your IQ would probably be 3,034.
3 points higher, yep. And this, if I'm remembering correctly, and then a shout out to Six too. Six sent some nice messages today, and I sent her message to Clobby for Claude to read in person.
Good.
But how much she loves Clobberin Times. I think this is when they tried to make Penguin into like a martial artist, and like tried to bulk up his character. I think that's what that was. Like they made him a kick-ass character too, not just
It would have been funny to
a thing.
see Danny DeVito try and pull that off.
Yeah, that wouldn't have
That would have been hysterical.
that wouldn't have worked so well. Yeah.
No.
So we're getting about 3/4 way through the box, so might as well finish the box. Clobberin Times will want us to finish the box. I think it's the first time we'll ever done a whole long box of comics. Usually we just show the new comics that I've bought and I get made fun of. So far I'm not getting made fun of, but here's the Beyonder in his cool 70s outfit, and he hasn't made an appearance in the Marvel universe yet, but he would be an interesting character if they didn't.
That's quite the outfit. He looks like
Yeah.
looks like Elvis after several deep fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. And Oliver Belamonte just walks through the door. He says, "Greetings to all in attendance." He is sending a prayer to Clobby for a speedy recovery. Glad Raquel and Mark are hosting. Yeah, don't worry about that. We don't need any thanks. As this is where I got to know the three of you. Yeah, Oliver, Clobby is the kind of person who he makes people come together. I'm an introvert, and if he was on this other podcast before he was on YouTube. And he just messaged me one day and he said, the way you talk about Star Trek, I would love it if you would just come hang out with me sometime. And I put it on hold because I wasn't sure. And then I heard him speaking. I went over and listened to his podcast and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the greatest guy. I need to do this. And then that's shortly thereafter we got together and we started podcasting together. But if it weren't for Clobby, I wouldn't know any of you. I'm not even somebody who makes a phone call. Do you know what I mean? It's just not who I am. So I'm just very introverted. So I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't know any of you if it weren't for Clobby. This is his virtual comic book shop. We all know him and love him, and we show up here because of him. And I just want to let Clobby know right now that including X, there are 405 people here. 405 people. We love you, Clobby. Anyone in the chat, if you want me to read a message to Clobby, please just go ahead and put that message in the chat, because Jonathan, Clobby's son, has been so gracious that he's actually turned the show on for Clobby to listen to in his hospital bed. So if you want me to read something, it would be my pleasure to do that for you. So go ahead. The word is given. The word is given.
Hail to CC Karaoke. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hello.
I'm across. I've got two desks in my very small office, but I'm looking at the computer screen from like 6 feet away with my glasses on that are bad prescriptions. So once in a while I can catch the chat. But thank you, Raquel, for handling the chat while I flip through these horrible covers that are just all these cute green Orion slave girls. Oh no, that's the She-Hulk. That was written by Dan Slott, so Clobberin Times, so not approved. Actually, it was one of our badges of honor. We both got blocked by Dan Slott on Twitter.
You both got in trouble.
Yeah,
Brian,
I don't know.
That 70s rock fan would like to send a message to Clobby. He says, Clobby, I'm praying for you, buddy. We all love you very much. You're very right, Brian, and thank you so much for that. And Dr. Muse says, Clobby, get better. I need to show you all my new classic Doctor Who merch. And he sends a big smile and a thumbs up and a heart. And JT Kirk says, for crying out loud, Mark. No, I'm kidding. Any Silver Surfer in that long box?
I not in this one, because I pulled all my Silver Surfers out of the S box to put in a special box, because those are among my more valuable comics. So I have those in a separate box, but I have shown those before. But yeah, they're not in. I do have some Silver Surfer in the end, but not the original Surfer run. I do have those in a separate box. I'm looking at the end. Yeah, there are some Silver Surfer coming up.
Nice. And Snortopoopas Cuber says, Clobby, you're a great human. Thoughts for a speedy and complete recovery. So there you go, boss. Snortopoopas was here.
And he's not eating any humans, which is good.
He's not.
Oh, I remember this cover. Hey, boys, Cousin Bruce sure had to put up with a truckload of weirdos in his second issue. The Toad, yeah. And here's this is a famous cover. John Byrne, Sensational She-Hulk #1. Okay, now it's your second chance. If you don't buy my book this time, I'm gonna come to your house and rip up all your X-Men. That's one of the classic great covers and great humor on that one. It's John Byrne's run on run on the
That front
X-Men.
cover is
That is this year.
weird.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that's a terrible front cover. What's going on with her stomach?
Well, I didn't notice her stomach, but
Well, how could you not? I mean, come on. It's
all right,
it's
it is
more
a
than
little
just
weird,
chesticles.
but
You could definitely tell that there's like what's wrong with her stomach. Like she looks like I don't know, like she has a giant ant. Like is she Balana? Do you remember when Balana got attacked by that
well,
like oversized insect?
well,
But she looks funny.
he's gonna come to my house and rip off all my X-Men if I'm not nice. So yep. Yeah. So
Right, Matthew Pounder? JT Kirk, what to expect when you're expecting?
yeah,
She's expecting, we're just not sure what.
Weird. Yeah, her stomach did look weird there. Yep.
Yeah, it did.
And this is Sensational Spider-Man. Now we know Clobberin Times is not a fan of the black, the Spidey black cover. So there's that, and I think that cover was pretty well regarded.
Yes,
I
Scuba
remember.
Pete Bolana was bugging out. And Clobby has received a gift from RRTNZ. And RRTNZ says, Hail, Mark and everyone. Praying for Clobby to recover quickly. You hear that, Clobby? RRTNZ wants you to get up. And if you get up, I promise they'll give you ice cream. I will personally speak to the doctor and ask him if you can have ice cream. Or maybe M&Ms? No, probably ice cream. Why not, Mark, why not put away those crappy comics and get out some comics Clobby would love? Time for some Kirby or 80s Alan Moore or Frank Miller. Live long and prosper, Clobby. And then he throws up another LLAP. Thank you so much, RRTNZ.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I just grabbed my S box, so whatever's in the S box for tonight. But I will show a few favorites, I'm sure. And there are some old comics in here too. One More Day, Part 3 of 4. We all hate One More Day. Yeah. The Sensational Spider-Man at 41. And then Sentry was kind of like Marvel's version of the superhero. That's John Romita Jr. on the art there.
That art is terrible.
Yeah, Jr. He used to draw like his dad, then he created his own style. I'm not a big fan.
What's his own style? Pooh?
This, well, I mean, not a fan.
Is it S for shite?
His old stuff
you
is
dropped
gorgeous.
Spider-Man. Pick up Spider-Man.
Oh, that's okay. It's One More Day. It should be burned.
Oh, okay.
So this is Jenkins, Winslet and Palmer, Century Fantastic Four, Marvel Knights. That's kind of a cool Kirby-esque cover.
Oh, that would be
So
cool to talk about with Clobby.
might
Cassandra
like that.
Beacom has to leave. She says, I have to sleep now. Cassandra Beacom, thank you so much for joining us. Please send our love and our thanks to your husband, Michael, and to your son, Sean. And Cassandra wants to say to Clobby, you need to nap and recover. Thank you so much, Cassandra Beacom. Say hello to the guys for all of us. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night. Thank you. Take care. Yep.
Oh, Mars Monkey Max says his style was pastels. Oh, insert barf icon. Do you know what I mean? It was a real barforama, and no one even had any pie. Pastels?
No one had any pie. Yeah.
Pastels? Get out of here.
Let's grab. Oh, Shadow of the Bat.
Snorta Poopus says Clobby should have ice cream with M&Ms in it.
Right?
Good. This is true.
The only thing is when the M&Ms get cold, they kind of can mess up your teeth, though. But
yeah.
Here's Shadow of the Bat.
Oh, Dave Bob just walked through the door. He said, praying for Clobby. Dave Bob, we can do better than that. I said, Dave Bob. Jonathan is here in the chat, and he is so amazing. Ash was here as well, but Jonathan is actually playing this broadcast for Clobby in his hospital bed. So, Dave, if there's anything you want me to read to Clobby, I will most certainly do that. So, if you have any message or anything that you'd like me to say, I will say it, and Clobby will hear it.
And of course,
Oh,
Clobberin
and
Times
JT Kirk,
loves.
who is also in hospital, says that the nurses have told him that it's time for him to go to bed. He's going into lurk mode. Good night, all. JT Kirk, we are all thinking about
God bless
you.
you.
Clobby was very worried about you. We all love you very much. You go to sleep. You do everything the nurses tell you to do, please, sir. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, okay? Good night, sweetheart.
Get well, and yeah, we better hope to have you on Late Night Fortnite on Friday night if you're up to it. I hope you
Yes,
are.
yes, yes.
Hope you're home. Yep. But if not, you do have a valid excuse for a rain check. But
Yes.
I do want to see a note from your doctor. Just kidding. And this is among Clobberin Times' favorite, of course, Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm. And I don't know if we saw Loki here tonight, but Loki's a real good friend of Clobberin Times. And they did some great.
Yes.
They've been covering the animated series and a lot of DC animated and talked about Batman. And of course, a lot of people will say that Batman: Mask of the Phantasm is the greatest Batman movie out there. Here we go. We get a free comic book. That was the special
Lovely.
edition.
That
Now
was
on
a
video.
special edition on that one. Dave Bob
Yeah.
just wants me to tell Clobby to get better. But CC just walked through the door, or maybe CC's been here for a while. Sorry, everyone. It's kind of weird doing the chat tonight. You know, we always take down all your names and say hello to you, but it's just I'm a little bit emotionally overwhelmed tonight. But CC says, "Wake up, Clobby! Zack Snyder just signed a 20-year deal to reboot Star Trek."
That'll get him going. Yep.
CC. And Mars Monkey Max is sentencing JT Kirk, who is also in hospital. He says, JT Kirk, you listen to those nurses now and do the sponge bath if they ask.
Yeah. And Kal-El says Massive Phantom was the best Batman movie I ever saw in the 90s, hands down. Yeah, that's a lot of people agree with that. I love that movie too. Of course, I love Batman 89, and I'm sure a lot of people do. But yeah, and of course the animated series. God, that was so darn good. Yeah. I think are these Brian Stelfreeze covers. You know, I don't have Clobberin Times here to double check my guess on who did the
Double check the guess.
artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Brian Stelfreeze. But let me go.
Hungry
look
Boys.
the stack. Hungry Boy would know. Yep, he's the expert. Yep. I just pretend to play a comic book expert on YouTube. That's there.
Clobby's Batman, and you're Robin.
Yeah.
It's true.
I remember that cover. That was creepy. Gotham Freaks. So for years, you just had,
Clobby,
Batman, Detective Comics.
Clobby, Mark is showing a whole bunch of Batman comics, and they look nothing like I've ever seen before.
Yeah, Alan Grant and Norm Befogel was on that one.
Some different art. Clobby, he has Bat the Human Flea. He's showing covers from Bat the Human Flea by Alan Grant and what does it say?
Vince Garano.
Vince Garano. Clobby, do you approve?
I don't know if he'd approve of these. These are kind of 1993, so I don't know if he would approve of these. But I was.
Dave Bob, I will let him know that you're saying good night. Clobby, Dave is leaving for the evening, and so he just wanted to say good night to you. Dave Bob, thank you so much for dropping by. Take it easy.
I don't know if Fat Steven's there. It's Under Siege. I think we did that movie together on Toxic Tuesday. Def Leppard.
Bat. The Black Spider. I don't know if
These
Clobby
are
would
kind of
approve
cool
of these.
covers. I don't know if he would, but it's not. It's pretty old. I mean, these covers are better. Of course, Batman Returns,
Mhm.
great cover there. So,
Yeah, right, Matthew Pounder. Clobby is more of a Bronze Age guy.
oh, definitely. But
He's a very snooty, refined museum curator. Like if you think of Clobby in the comic book world, that's who he is. He's the guy who works at the finest museum with the best reputation and the most beautiful collection. And yes, it is the only way that Clobby is snobby. Snobby Clobby.
so
Okay,
that's good.
RRTN said wants me, he says, tell him that George Lucas has just repurchased Lucasfilm and is reinstating the EU, while Kurtzman has been fired and Bad Robot has lost the Trek IP. We wish. What do you think of
Yeah,
that, Club?
for sure. Yeah. And look, the secret of Nick Fury's eye patch, and it wasn't scratched out by a cat, but I think someone wrote 40 cents on this. So, of course, this cover is messed up, but it's
Oh,
Sergeant
that's a
Fury and the
super
Howling
old
Commandos.
4.
Yeah, so that's 25 cents. But someone wrote
Yeah,
on
but
the
that's back when people were still using cursive writing. Look at that 4.
I think it's
4.
actually a stamp. I think it's a stamp.
That's got to be a stamp, man.
That's a stamp, yeah. But
Yeah.
someone, I don't know how I got this comic, but I picked that up. But that's an old comic. I'm guessing it's that early 70s, maybe. I'm trying to. Well, 25 cents, maybe that's guessing early 70s. I'm not sure if someone could tell me how old that is. And then Blue Beetle, Clobby loves Blue Beetle. Arkham, Showcase 94.
Oh, what's
Some
that?
Blue Beetle comics, yep. And then this was Siege Spider-Man. I can remember that one. So we're getting towards the end of the box here. So they put Sergeant Fury back in his. I actually have that was Sergeant Rock.
Raquel, tell Clobby that a meteorite struck the Earth and somehow only took out Kathleen Kennedy, Akiva Goldsmith, and Alex Kurtzman, and Bob Iger has been abducted by aliens. Please.
All right, so we're almost done with the box, but let's finish. So we got after this we got Silver Surfer comics to show, going through the S's. So this is of course Rise of the Silver Surfer, apropos for the movie that only should be made with Clobberin Times involvement would be involvement. Oh, Fantasy says thank you. Early mid 70s. That's what I was thinking. Yep. And John Platt is here. It says hail Clobby, Mark D, and Raquel mods and chats. Thank you.
Good evening, John Platt.
Shout out to your Muslim uncle.
Thank you so much, your Muslim uncle.
This is Robin Tim Drake. Is that? Well, these are all Robin comics, I guess. Yep. So I was collecting Robin, of course, created by Chuck. This version of Robin created by Chuck Dixon, who has been in the news for other reasons we won't.
Holy
mention.
Moses! Look at those chesticles.
Yeah, I wonder why I bought that book.
Will you look at the rack on her?
I can't get it to stand up straight. I don't know why.
Ay, ay, ay.
It's curved. Yeah. Yeah. These. Oh, Dark Side. There's some Jack Kirby greatness there. So this was. I did really enjoy the Tim Drake Robin character.
What would Clobby
back
say?
in the day? I don't think he would have read any of these because this is 90s. Like he would hate that, the new Fantastic Four. See, this is better yet to come clobber me.
He would.
Come clobber
Your
me.
agonizer, please.
Yeah. Look at that.
Could everyone please
Sharon
rover Mark in the chat?
Yes, rover
we
me.
need to wake up on the beach in the village, and we need to do that for Clobby. So just go ahead and rover Mark for putting up the filth FF.
The new Fantastic Four, yeah.
Yes, the filthy Fantastic Four. So it's triple F. The fake filthy Fantastic Four. So it's 4 Fs.
This is the initiative, the new Fantastic Four, yeah, McDuffie.
Oh,
I don't
Bubba
remember
Doom wants you to run the Clawbony to clean the stream. This is when you know you got yourself in trouble, when Bubba Doom is
Yeah,
asking to cleanse the stream. And
yeah, we need
D-Bud
to
Martin
cleanse
just
it.
put you in the agony booth.
Yeah. I don't know why I bought these. Yeah. I don't even remember reading those, which is
Clobby,
scary, scary,
including
scary.
X, there are 470 people here, including
Wow.
the X Twitter platform.
It's the most we've. I'm guessing that's the most we've ever had. Otherwise, other than when Nerdrotic, obviously, Nerdrotic was on. That was another big stream. Of course, anytime RetroBlasting is
And
on,
RetroBlasting, I was going to
and
say, Michael.
or if Doomcock has been on. Yep.
Did anyone tell Michael?
I was in contact with him today. Yep.
Okay, good.
Siege. I don't remember these. This is scary. Okay, here we go. This is goodness. The Shogun Warriors. How about them apples for a good cover? Shogun Warriors #9.
Clobby,
You
Katie's
would love
here.
that.
Clobby, Katie Carr is here. She's saying, sending some more for Clobby's recovery. Sorry, I've been out, saw Lord of the Rings in the theater and couldn't text that
Oh,
much.
wow.
I'm praying and will keep him in my rosary. So much love for our friend. Thank you so much, Katie. And
Thank you, Katie.
Katie, Jonathan, Clobby's son, has very graciously turned us on Clobby's phone so that Clobby can hear all of us. So Clobby has heard what you said, thanks to Jonathan.
And there's the great Joe Kubert. Sergeant Rock, The Prophecy. Great, great all-time artist, yep. So some Sergeant Rock comics here, and shout out to Katie. Thank you for that nice message, and very cool that you got to see Lord of the Rings Extended Edition in theaters. I remember watching the Fellowship of the Ring with my good nerd geek friend, and we turned to each other. You know, we got to the prancing pony. We're like, "This is really good." You know, and of course, shout out to John Wesley Shipp, who I got to meet last summer at Terrificon. And The Flash is coming out on Blu-ray very soon. So this, I of course bought this when it came out. So 22 live action episodes plus the 90-minute pilot. Rates a solid 9.5 on the Zowie Wow scale. Tom Shales, Washington Post. So, and Amanda Pays was in that show. She was a cutie patootie too, Amanda Pays. Yeah. She was the scientist helper. Yep. More old Sergeant Rock. 60 cents. Oh, and look at this. And again, I keep saying it a million times. Sometimes the backing boards, you're not supposed to put the backing boards in the middle of the comics because it damages the spine. But it's just, God, going through these, it is a lot of fun to see both sides of the comic.
Katie yells yes in the chat. And
Yes,
to say something to Clobby. She says, Clobby, please get well soon. I have so many more crappy reviews of mine for you to read. You are a class act for taking time from your show to read the ones I send to your direct messages. I'm wishing you well. Thank you, Lisa. That's so
Thank you,
beautiful.
Lisa.
Thank you so much.
Here's some great ads, you know, comic book ads in the back. AAU shoes. Yep. Sergeant Rock meets the killer. Battle's over. Looks like they're all dead. There's a lot of Yahtzees on these, but that's classic old. They were able to have them. Clobberin Times probably owns all these. I know he owns a Superman watch here. He's got to own at least Superman, and maybe Batman. Yep. Be the first to have your favorite superhero on your own watch. Here's how. So it's wow, $23.95. That's not cheap. Small, $19.95. So, yeah.
Fanti is Clobby Fanti is here. Phantom Outsider. Mark, Fanti's saying they have clear boards now. If you want to be able to see the back. What are they made out of, Fanti?
It must be some kind of acrylic that's not won't damage the comics. Yep. And hail to the great Eric K. He says, "Love you, bud. Thank you, Eric K."
Yeah, Clobby. Eric K just walked through the door and said that he loves you. You hear that? Eric K loves you very much. Thank
Here
you.
is one of my all-time favorite, and keeping in the spirit of comics, this is one of my all-time favorite covers. I got to read back and board this, but we made it easy. No Name Hill is ours. It's just showing the horrors of war, but just a great Sergeant Rock cover. 35 cents. It's number 312 from January, and I'm guessing that's 77, 78 maybe, or 80, somewhere around that time frame. But just this cover always sticks in my head. Like I just know I own this comic. I can't remember names sometimes or silly
Yeah,
things,
but
but
some of the images stick with you.
the
Fanty's
images
saying
stick.
that it's a stiff plastic acid-free material, and Mars Monkey Max is guessing that it's acrylic.
Acrylic. Okay, thank you. Yep. And this is another great Sergeant Rock cover. I thought I heard a noise. They got the bomb there. But of course, you used to have a ton of World War II soldier comics back in the day. Of course, closer you were to World War II, just a very popular theme. All right, so fitting Eric K is here because he's our bronze surfer. So this is
Katie.
newer.
Katie, that's incredibly kind of you to say. Clobby, Katie just put in the chat, Clobby is the king of traditional Star Trek, and Raquel is queen of traditional Star Trek. And then she yells, "Long live our king," with an LLAP. Katie, I know that's making Clobby smile right now. Clobby is just smiling because of that. And Salty Traveling C just walked through the door, and he says absolutely nothing but love and good vibes, Clobby. You hear that, Clobby? Salty Traveling C is here, and he's sending love. Thanks, Salty.
So
Sorry about that.
no, don't be sorry. Yeah, no,
Please go ahead.
I feel sometimes I'm torn here between, and maybe it's better I can't read all these notes because I'd probably lose it again. But Silver Surfer meets Ganymede. So this is Silver Surfer 81. This is the Ron. I don't know if that's Ron Lim art. I'm trying to look. Yeah, that's Ron Lim. But this was a reboot of the Silver Surfer. I think it's volume 3, maybe. So let's go through my Silver Surfer collection. This doesn't include my original, the volume 1 of the Silver Surfer that I have in a special box. And Jack of Hearts, he was a great character. Ooh, look at this foil cover goodness, Silver Surfer 75. And back in the day, they would sell you these. You'd think
the foil is a gimmick. Who taught me that?
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool.
Clobby
It is a
taught me that.
gimmick.
Oh
But
my
you think it's
gosh,
going to be worth
Clobby. We just surpassed 500. We're at 502. Clobby, including X and Twitter. There are 502 people here tonight. You hear that, Clobby? Everybody loves you, sweetheart. Everyone is thinking about you. Everyone is sending you their love. You hear me, boss? You hear me, Captain? You have to report to the bridge. So you get some rest, but you have to report to the bridge. You need it here, Captain.
Big shout out to everyone who's joining us tonight for Mark C. Comic Book Talk on Clobberin Times channel. You might like that cover, I think, because got some cool characters there, right? Some cool heralds of Thanos, of Galactus. Resurrection of Airwalker. Cool character, yep. And, well, I know he does not like Morg, because they did had the Morg. All right, let me grab Morg. He's resting on top of my Galactus. It's like, why did they do Morg with the big Galactus figure? But there's
You are not
there's
Morg.
See, introducing Morg, the Berserker. So I guess that's his first appearance. You have Fire Lord. Okay, number 71. So he was making fun of Morg. Morg, don't get mad.
Salty Traveling C is hoping that all of Clobby's nurses are hot, and that someone brings him a comic book. And Salty, I know that he loved hearing you say that.
Op Galactus, release Doctor Strange. Honey, I blew up the kid. I remember this run was a good. I did enjoy this run. This was good stuff. So I think this is 9 from that car. I guess that's 92.
Honey,
Infinity
wine
War
on your
crossover.
head. That's what it looks like. Sorry.
Yeah.
Looks like a wine cork on his head. Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. That's a featuring Love and Hate. Captain Reptile.
Oh, there's some serious art.
Yeah.
I hope Eric is liking this.
Yeah, this is a pretty well regarded. Let me flip the box so I can keep him in order. I don't want to go out of order. You would appreciate that, Raquel, right?
Everything linear. It
Everything
must
linear,
be
yeah.
linear. We
So
are
here's
not linear.
Terminator 2 advertisement, so placing the date of the comic. And the original Captain Marvel, of course, one of the few characters that has never come back. Of course, well, they put him in the Captain Marvel movie and destroyed his character, but that's not Marvel in that one. Yep. Was that a handheld Wolverine game? Yep. Silver Surfer versus the Collection Agency. Midnight's done. The
DJ
Infinity
Play
Gauntlets
Nice.
crossover.
Sorry, Mark. DJ Play Nice just walked through the door. Clobby,
Yeah.
DJ Play Nice is here, and he sent you a gift, and he said, you can't hurt a rock. Be better soon, Clobby. Hear that?
Yep.
DJ Play Nice is here, Clobby.
Thank you, DJ. And here's, of course, the launch of the classic X-Men. Well, I guess for lack of it, X-Men 97. But God, I remember when these were. We had a local department store. That was kind of like a Kmart or a Walmart. It was a Caldor. There was like, there were 20 of them, but it was like the everything store. So toys, the clothes, like a Sears, but just a local. And I remember buying all of these when they came out. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I don't believe it. There's actually X-Men figures in the toy store that I can buy from Toy Biz, and they're lacking in some ways, but there's a lot of charm to these figures. I just love these figures. So it's just just amazing to see. I love the old classic ads too. It's just fun to have that, and I still have. Well, actually, let's grab Wolvie here. I still have some of these hanging up, but this one became a favorite of my kids. So
So
take
he
your
got
best
beat
shot.
up a bit.
Yeah,
Jay Goodwin just jumped in the chat, and he wants to say, Clobby, hey Clobby, you are just too magnificent of a guy to let this keep you down. Get well and get back to us. Jay Goodwin, that is a marvelous message for the captain. You hear that, Captain? Jay Goodwin is here, and he wants you to get better.
Thank you, Jay. Yep. And then this figure would you probably can't hear it, but it makes a noise and it says, "I got claws. I can use them." I got to turn. I have the filter on, so you probably can't hear it. But my son would just press that button all day. He'd be like his age. He's like, "I got claws. I can use them." Ding 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 ding. Take your best shot. And he just like pressing it hours on end, and that still works. So that's how old those electronics are. Oh, wowzers! What's Thanos doing there? When nightmares come true. This is Infinity Gauntlets. This is all Infinity Gauntlet crossovers. So back, who would have known how big of a deal that was going to become in the MCU?
Became huge. Gwagnar, you hear that, Clobby? Gwagnar is here, and he says, Clobby, thank you for creating this space where we can all get together and talk about the things that we love, or in some cases, the things that we love to hate. You hear that, Clobby?
Yeah.
Gwagnar is sending his best to you, and he misses you, and he wants you to get well soon.
For sure, yeah. Thank you, Gwagnar. And a few more left. I think, did I show my new comics last week? Well, we can end with showing my new. I can't remember now, so we can end with showing my new comics. But Dungeons and Dragons, it's here. Can't wait to play D&D. So this is Silver Surfer 51. So, oh, here's the 50th issue. Oh yeah, look at that. More hologram goodness.
Hologram goodness.
It actually does make a nice. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm buying it anyway, so but it does. Foil covers are pretty. This
I
one,
was
the
warned.
printing
I
on
was
this
taught
pretty
by the
good.
best.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's a scam, but
Yep.
it is cool. I don't mind that one so much. And 25. Who is the new Super Skrull? And number 4. I thought I owned more of these, but I guess I didn't. On the
Hmm.
on the lower end of the run, I'll have to complete that run. There's the champion who fought Ben Grimm, and let me show some of our favorite comics. But there's the champion
Okay.
there.
Let's do
Let
that.
me grab those off the wall.
Okay.
So, because we were referencing that, I just have
I
it.
just want to thank you so much for, not having any notice and then just pulling all these comics together so that we could talk about them for Clobby. I think what
Yeah.
you did tonight was really terrific, and thank you. You didn't even have time to get all this together, and yet you did. So, thanks, Mark.
Well, thank you. And all I did was just run to the basement. I'm like, oh crud, I'm running late. But let me just. I had a last minute thought. I didn't know what I was going to show. I said, let me
Yeah.
just grab a long box in the basement and prove that I actually do own some comics. I guess.
Yeah.
And then I met Ron Wilson last summer at Terrificon in Connecticut. I'm going to be going back there again. I believe it's in August, and signed by the great Ron Wilson. And this is one of our all-time favorite comics. Versus the Champion, and Mike and I reviewed this comic, and I got a copy signed for him. And then me, I've never I always wait to send stuff down. I still owe you stuff, and I never finish anything. So it's okay if you shin kick me. But I had this sign. And when I told Mike and I showed Ron Wilson, sign, why'd you do that for me? What are you doing? I don't need that. I don't
I
need
remember
that.
that. You got in trouble.
I got in trouble. I'm like, well, I had 2 of them, so I got one signed for you. You didn't pay for that. Like
See, this is
I
what I
can't wait.
mean, right?
Yeah, like most normal people, and I'm saying that in a good way, would say, thank you so
But
much,
that's not
or
his way.
he's like, why did you get that? I don't need that. I don't need that,
Yeah.
And that's one
That's
of our favorite comics. So
yeah. Well, I think that's what I mean. Like Americans, they're such sweet people, and you just think, oh, it's just deference. But with Clubby, it's not deference. He's sincerely
yeah,
that old school Southern gentleman, like I don't know, almost
yeah,
like cowboy, where he's just so dignified. He won't stand for that stuff. And I try and explain it to people, and they just don't get it. But
yep,
but don't worry, you know what? We followed the rules tonight. We did it his way, and with all of the dignity that he would expect from us. And so we have
yeah,
conducted ourselves in a manner in which I think he would be very proud of us. So, what do you think, Club?
yeah, for sure, yep. And this is George George Lopez. My brain is frazzled, but
It's
signed.
okay.
Yeah, a signed comic by it's Joe. There's Joe Rubenstein there, and yeah, it's just the great George Perez, who I think was his birthday. Would have been his 70th birthday a couple days ago, and Jim Starlin signed. So I had 3 signatures on this great Infinity Gauntlet cover, and I got to meet George Perez. And I'll tell a story again because it's a fun comic book story, but I'll make it truncate a little bit. But George Perez was at our local comic book store, and it's a hole in a wall store. Great store. We loved it. Timeless Journey, but pretty small, physical layout. But it was a great place. And George Perez is there, who's one of the great all-time artists. And I guess the owner knew George Perez's agent, or somehow it was set up. And we're like, oh wow, I can't believe this. So some people brought some of their artist editions, and I just went through my collection, was grabbing a bunch of comics to get signed. And he said, oh, you can sign 5 at a time. and get back online if you want to sign 5 more. But there were only like 30 or 40 people there. It wasn't too crowded. And my son, who was probably like 5 or 6 at the time, I told him George Perez was going to be there. I took him there, and I said, well, maybe he can do a cyborg drawing for him, and get to meet George Perez. And so I asked Charlie. He said, Charlie, well, you can ask him. Maybe he'll draw you a cyborg, but you don't force kids to do these things, or. So I went into the store. He said, well, I can't do any sketches. But then we were online, and Charlie, goodness, Mr. Perez, could you please draw me a picture of Cyborg? And then that little cute little, kid voice. And he's like, oh, Charlie, you asked me so nicely. My manager said I shouldn't draw any sketches, but you asked so nicely, and I can't turn down a young fan. He's like, I'm going to draw you a sketch of Cyborg, but he's going to look a little bit different than he does on the Teen Titans cartoon, but that's how I draw him. So and it was I think it was Charlie's maybe it was Charlie's birthday too. So I had him. He wrote like "Happy Birthday, Charlie," and then so he draw. You're watching and the master at work. And there's relatively simple sketches, but it's just such a gorgeous. And you see that created in front of you, and so he did a sketch, and then the next kid online said, "Can I have?" And then George is like,
Oh, no.
"Okay, everyone, I'll do one sketch for everyone."
Oh my
and he's
gosh.
drawing, and this is George Perez, and this was no charge.
I love George Perez, and
Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was until Clobby introduced him to me. And he was wasn't he a magnificent person?
Oh, so nice.
I have to interject here really quickly because sorry, I have to interject really quickly here because it's really piling up and I want to do this.
Go for it.
So I'm so sorry. Wes Cagle sends a gift to our Captain Clobby. He says, Clobby, this is rough. Our superheroes aren't supposed to be in the hospital. And then he sends a thing emoji and he says, get better and get back to us. And the Voyager trashing is waiting. So Wes Cagle really misses you, Clobby, and he's thinking of you. And Ezra Goldstein says, this is a message for Clobby. Clobby, thank you for creating this special place on YouTube where geeks and nerds can get together and discuss things that really matter. Get well soon, and remember me to Gallifrey.
That's Doctor Who's home planet, just because I know you haven't watched Who yet, so.
Oh boy. Snortapoopa says, it's time to put this old bear back in the snooze bag. Take care, every human. And once again, prayers and thoughts for the wonderful Clobby. So, Clobby, Snortapoopa is saying good night.
Thank
and
you
now
for being
that,
here, Snortapoopas.
And good evening, Rob Altus. You're such a great friend to Clobby, and we share the prisoner. All three of us, all four of us, share a massive love for the prisoner. It's good to see you. Okay, so now, Mark, that I have been ridiculously rude, I'm going to turn it back to you. Sorry about that, sweetheart, but there were
you're
25 messages.
No, God, no. I'm just. It's just it's a tough night, but we hope we know Clobberin Times is hearing this and knowing that's making him feel a little bit better, and
yeah.
So that's my Infinity Gauntlet. I've been George Perez, and then this one of my favorite FF covers, FF 191. I don't know why this cover resonates with me so much, but I talked about it with George Perez, and I'm like, I just always love this cover. It tells such a great.
What did Clobby think of this one?
He loved that cover too, yeah. So he agreed with me on that one. So I have these books on these nice frames you can have hanging off your wall, so you can put the comic in there. But World's Greatest Fighting Team calls it quit. And of course, I talked to not that you would tape record this stuff, but back then with the phones, I just trying to remember what George said, but he said he did like this cover and enjoyed.
It's a very cool idea because there they are in real life walking away, and so all you see are their feet and their legs, and then on the front cover of the Bugle, the Daily Bugle, you see their faces, their chests, their arms, their hands. So it's a super cool idea. I just want to say hello to the Stark of Iron. He's on his he's on a break. He's at work. He really wanted to be here tonight. So, Stark of Iron, since you just walked through the door, you should know that Clobby is listening to us, thanks to Jonathan. So I just want to let Clobby know that you're here, even though you're at work. So, Clobby, Stark of Iron has been worried about you, sick with worry about you all day, and he is so sorry that that he cannot be here. But from work, he's waving hello to you, and he's saying to get well soon. And Rob Altus says, I send all my best wishes to you, Clobby. I love you. I feel like we've been friends without ever meeting. And I think that's up to date. Oh, Gwagnar is just, Gwagnar has done it again. You know what he's like, Clobby. Despite it being so expensive, Gwagnar bought 5 memberships to the channel. That's a very expensive gift. Folks, please feel free to avail yourselves of those memberships brought to you by the wonderful Gwagnar, who always works so hard to build up Clobby's channel with his memes, sharing Clobby's stuff all over social media, and giving away memberships. Thank you so much, Gwaggy. And I think now,
Thank you, Wagner.
Oh no, we got one more. Max Redstone says, tell Clobby that George Takei and Kevin Feige went hot air ballooning, and the hot air balloon spontaneously combusted, and then Kevin Smith also spontaneously combusted. So it's spontaneous combustion all the way around. And now I think we're up to date in messages to Clobby. Clobby, I hope you're having a wonderful time tonight. I hope we're doing a good job of your show. I hope we're making you proud. Wagner is saying, get better, Clobby. I have more pictures to post. He wants to spend more time with you. And my buddy Stark of Iron, he just bought 5 memberships. This is such an expensive gift to give. Thank you so much, Stark of Iron. That is just so generous of you. And Stark of Iron just sent Clobby a formal salute. A formal salute. Love you, Clobby. Thank you. And now, go ahead, Mark.
That's okay. No, we love to hear that stuff. And this is, of course, anytime, that's what ties me and Clobby together, love of the thing. So, it's Clobberin Times, Jin Salicrop. So he was, if I'm saying his name correctly, so was an editor at Marvel, and he had the sign there was, buy horrible sketches from Marvel editors who aren't artists, something along those lines. And as soon as I saw this, I said, I gotta buy this. And I was planning on scanning this and putting this on Mike's channel. I guess I don't think I ever got around to it, but it's not such bad art either, right? Come on, he's a writer, he's an editor. It's not that bad. Penmanship's pretty good, right? As an editor, you would think. So I thought that was fun, and I just enjoyed buying that. And of course, I always have these at my feet or in my room, ready to go. I've got. Let me grab these. Oh,
I have
I
to
know
interject
Mike would
for
like
a minute,
these.
because I missed one of the messages from Stark of Iron. Stark of Iron says, Clobby, I love you. And sweet Katie Carr, who Clobby loves so much, says, I'm going to head out for the night, Clobby. My heart goes out to you. I am truly devastated, but I have faith in the heart and in God, and he will heal our beloved friend. I love you, Clobby. Good night, Katie, and thank you so much for being here, sweetheart.
Thank you. And I don't know if Mike has a pair of these, but hopefully we can clobber each other in person someday. And
what are they made out of?
They're foam. They were like the Hulk
hands. They're foam? How have they survived? Yeah. I would punch everything with those.
Yeah, and it says it's you can, I don't know if you can hear it, but then it goes, it's clobbering time.
Oh, does it?
As you bang them together, as you bang the rocks together, they'd make.
That's seriously good. I would never put those away. Do you use those every day?
Yeah, I clobber people all the time.
Good. I would wear those to the grocery store. I would. I would wear those to the grocery store. I might even wear those to the movies. Could you imagine if I taught a lecture wearing those? I could just teach a class wearing those, and every time somebody got the correct answer, I would just walk over and just bang the rocks together.
Yeah, back off, Buttercup. So, I mean, the Hulk hands are very popular toys, but of course, when the Thing hands came out, I had to have those. So,
No, the Thing hands are far superior to the Hulk
the Hulk
smash.
hand.
Come on.
And the sound effects are great on these. So, they said a little worn out here, a little worn
That's
out, but
okay.
that's okay. Some of the rocks went, but and then I had done, I do a lot of 3D printing, and I was working on these Thing heads. I was doing a batch of these for people, so this one was getting ready to be. It's almost finished. Just gotta touch it up a little bit, but I think that came out pretty decent for a
Nice.
non-artist. I was going to send that to Mike.
Well,
I
at
got
least
the blue eyes.
it has the proper eyebrow.
Yeah, no, he did like this. He really did
Yeah,
like
it
this
has to have the proper eyebrow, and
Yeah.
he's pretty specific about that. And I just want to let Clobby know that there are 567 people here, including
Wow.
X.
That's
And
amazing.
that's amazing. And I want Clobby to know that. Clobby,
That's awesome. Yeah.
sit up in bed, ask for ice cream, because there are 567 people here right now who love you.
For sure, yep. And this is obviously this is how it comes off the 3D printer, and then this is the almost complete. I got to spray some matte paint on that. And
Oh
then,
my gosh. 6 just walked through the door. 6?
Hello, 6.
I love you, sweetheart. I heard that you spoke with Mark earlier. I love you so much, sweetheart. Clobby is here with us because Jonathan is actually playing the show. So, Clobby, 6 just sent you a beautiful gift, a wonderful and very generous gift. But more importantly, she wants you to know that she loves you. So all her message reads is, "I love you, Clobby," and you already know that.
Did she
That
give
6 loves you.
$100? My God.
She did. So
God bless you, 6. Yeah.
I love you, 6. Thank you so much. I know Clobby and his family appreciate that very much. So I love you, sweetheart, and I'm sending you a hug. And Mr. Tickle Trunk sent a gift to you too, Clobby, and he says, "All the love to all 3 of you, Clobby, Raquel, and Mark. Live long and prosper. I sent a personal message to Clobby earlier on that garbage fire called Twitter. If he can't access it, I just want to say I've been thinking about him all night." Well, Mr. Tickle Trunk, you've been a good friend to Clobby for many years, and I just want you to know that thanks to his amazing son, Jonathan, Clobby is listening to this show through a phone from his hospital bed. So he just heard me read that to him. So he knows you're here, and he knows what's in your heart, and he knows that you love him. 6. Oh, God, 6.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. And thank you for sharing those nice messages for Mike. Yep. This is actually, I think I sent him this mug. I can't remember now, but I think, and this is Paulie's book. So shout out to Latino Slant. I don't know if Paulie was in the chat tonight, but I know we were in touch with him. But I think I sent him one of these mugs. I'm trying to remember, or a similar mug. Yeah. So
they're adorable, and they have the right eyebrow. RVM371 says, "Hail to all. I've been lurking for almost the beginning of the stream, seeing Clobby on Pop Culture Breakdown, and wish him a speedy recovery. Gotta step out for now. Until next time, stay frosty, Clobby. Live long and prosper." You hear that, Clobby? Somebody from Pop Culture Breakdown stopped by and just wanted to say hello. And 6 knows that you need a hug, and so she's sending you one. And Stark of Iron has to leave, but he says, "I love you, Clobby. God bless you, and God bless everyone here." Stark of Iron, he heard that, and I know that he's thinking of you. Good night.
And the Gorn has a message for Clobby too. I wish I could.
Oh, Clobby does the best Gorn impression ever.
Yeah, and I can't hold a candle to his his impressions, but I wish I could do it justice. But Someday he'll be back here doing the Gorn, and I know this is your favorite Gorn, and Gwagnar sent you a Gorn too, right? Right, Raquel?
No,
Is
he
that
sent me a Creature from the Black
a
Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon? Creature from Black. They're similar vein. They're similar vein,
They
right?
are, well, I love me some Gorn and I love the Creature from the Black
Yeah.
Lagoon. I love them both very much. But Gwagnar sent me my first action figure. I've never had an action figure before because I'm not a geek, I'm a nerd. And so I'm absolutely in love with my Creature from the Black Lagoon. And I also received so many accessories for the Creature from the Black Lagoon, custom made by Gwagnar himself, including an enigmatic drop bear.
Nice, yep. And of course, you have this as a refrigerator magnet, I hope.
I don't
That's
know.
one
I
of the
can't remember.
one of the great things from Comic-Con. I'm just grabbing things around my on my desk here, but I know Clobberin Times loves this comic, Superman, Battle of the Century versus the Amazing Spider-Man. So if you go to Comic-Con I love having these magnets with these great classic covers on them. I remember when he's like, "Ah, damn it, Mark, I want that." Here's another. So I always love magnets. So I think this was a recent Comic-Con purchase. Of course, we've got
Rob Altus, Clobby has been dragging me into the geek herd for the entire time that I've known him. I mean, I read a comic and now I own, how many different runs of Star Trek do I own now? Because of Clobby, Mark? Is it 3 or is it 4?
3 or 4. Yep.
I have, I've got the Gold Key Star Trek, I've got the Marvel, I've got the DC,
A few Marvel, yeah.
and I've got the 3 that we've done. Oh my gosh, I have 6 lines of comics. And I've
Right.
never even read a comic before I met Clobby. I read research papers before I met Clobby,
Good
but
influence,
not
yeah.
comics.
So here's, of course, our love. Ooh, that magnet got messed up. How'd that happen? Oh no. Our love of comics. His first words were Batman. Mike told that story many times. Of course, watching Batman '66, and who could forget when Batgirl first appeared? Barbara Gordon. Wowzers! And we were just as a kid too. I grew up watching Batman. The Batman '66 show. And as an adult too, you also appreciate it even more. I think that his performance as Batman is just so phenomenal, so nuanced. There's just so many levels to it. The satire is just so well done, and it's people, oh, it's campy, it's a silly show, but it's not though, and it's a very intelligent show and very
Did you hear
fun
that?
in a lot of ways. Yeah, what was that?
That was a
That
giant clap of thunder. I think
that
a
was
huge,
up your way.
yeah, a huge storm is headed my way. I just want to welcome Resist the Woke and let Clobby know that Resist the Woke is here and that he's sending prayers for Clobby.
And Resist the Woke was on in the chat on Sunday Night Geekery. Thank you for hanging out with us. And yeah, that's where where's Mike? So where's Clobberin Times? But this was Bleed's story of the daring exploits of the one and only Superman. So I know he loved that magnet. Yep. And this is one of his other, a cover that he really appreciated. Let me grab this one off.
Good evening,
magnet.
Joe's Atmosphere. It's good to see you.
Hey, Joe.
And Joe's saying that Dick's Division sent everyone over here. Joe,
Thank you.
Tell the guys that I said hello and thank you. Joe, just so you know, Clobby is here with us thanks to his amazing son. He's listening to the podcast, the broadcast through a phone. So if there's anything you want to say to Clobby, you go ahead and put it in the chat and I'll read it to him, okay?
Of course, Avengers #4, one of the classic comics of all time. And then, of course, who doesn't like pins and buttons? So this is an old pin. It's starting to fade a little bit, but this is one of the thing pins I have on my. I have a magnet behind it.
Ding, 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 ding.
And not the thing ring, but your thing. Yeah. I mean, I actually have. This was the Fantastic Four movie, the one that was never released.
Oh,
But that
crazy.
was a pin from the Roger Corman, who just recently passed away. But pretty cool pin, I thought. Yep, that purple there.
Lady Mist, it is so good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my goodness, it is great to see you. Lady Mist says, Clobby, you're in our prayers. Get well soon. And Joe's Atmosphere, he sent a gift for Clobby, and he says, I'm praying for my brother in Louisiana. Thank you so much. And Soul Assassin just walks through the door. Hello, Soul Assassin.
Hello, Soul. So of course I've got, I love collecting all these little tchotchkes, so buttons, nothing's cooler than these little buttons, and some of them are pretty old. This is living infamy if Ash is out there. Beware my power. This is from the Green Lantern movie, the Ron Reynolds Green Lantern movie. So we got a lot of love. And then that was when Ash almost convinced us that was a good movie. And he,
Ash tried so hard to make it
he did a
into
great job.
good movie. Clobby, we're about to break 600 people in the room right now, including X. And I have to interject, Mark, even though it's super rude, because I just want to send, let Clobby know that Jill is here, anti-derivative Jill is here, Jilly Jill, and she sent a very generous gift for Clobby, and she says, Clobby, I love you. Please get well soon, friend. You're going to pull through. There's no one like you, so take all the time you need to recover, but also, I can't wait to hear your voice again. You hear that, Clobby? That's Jill. She says, I love you, Clobby. There's no one like you. Take time to get better, but everyone misses you, and they can't wait to have you back. Thank you so much, Jilly Jill. And Clobby, Jilly's
Thank
here.
you, Jill. Thank you, Jill. Part of the Saturday night crew, and it's great to have you. And yeah, tough circumstances tonight, but I know Clobberin Times will appreciate that gift and that beautiful message there. So yeah, hopefully he's with us soon again, and Saturday Night Star Trek. And yeah, here's a couple of, I'm just trying to just show a couple of things I think Clobberin Times would like. Some of these I might not have shown before. I can't remember, but maybe I did. But of course, I love magnets, as they call them.
And that's Ortiz. That's good stuff.
Yep, the Ortiz. Yeah,
that's Ortiz art. And guess who just walked through the door?
Gary Ambrosia.
Tom is here from Midnight's Edge After Dark. Clobby, did you hear me, sweetheart? Tom is here. Tom Connors, that fine Irishman that we both love. He just walks through the door. He was here earlier, but it was just so busy and it was just so emotional because Ash was here and Jonathan was here. I just couldn't keep up with the chat. But Tom came back, and then guess who else just walks through the door? Gary Ambrosia walks through the door, and he says, "Hail, Clobby. I love my brother Clobby. You are the best." And Gary just wants you to know that that he's thinking of you and he wants you to get well soon. You hear that, Clobby? Gary's here. Gary Ambrosia is here, and he loves you. Okay, Mark.
No, this magnet's an oldie but a goodie. Wow, that's fading fast now, that magnet. Wow. The famous bridge picture, and the hail to Nick Weiser, our buddy, Wes Cagle, and I'm away from the chat when I'm showing stuff. So
when did SP4H is here? Who else is here?
Nerdrotic, just Gary.
Nerdrotic is here. Gary.
Thank you so much,
my
Gary,
goodness.
for that wonderful gift. And yeah,
okay.
we're all.
Gary, Jonathan is Clobby's son, and he's holding the phone up and allowing Clobby to listen to all of us talking. And so when I read this, he's going to hear that you said it. Clobby, are you listening? Gary's here. Your friend Gary from Nerdrotic. And he says, "We love you, Clobby. I look forward to a nice long debate about the greatness of Picard season 3. So he wants to get into the poopy stew. He's going to talk the filth with you, and it's going to be hysterical. I just want to thank Gary for being here tonight and for that very generous gift. You hear that, Clobby? Gary's here, sweetheart. If you wake up, Clobby, I promise I will make the doctor give you ice cream. I love you.
And here's Poopy Stew versus my Captain Kirk Migo from when I was a kid. So yeah, we know Clobberin Times was not a fan of season 3 of P Hard, as he called it. Well, 1 and 2 we can all agree was terrible, but yeah, it's been a rough night, but at least we've had all these wonderful messages and friends and family stopping in, because I didn't know if I would make it through the night after the beginning and how we got started, because I told myself I wasn't going to lose, and I did, which is okay, I guess. But it's been a rough, emotional roller coaster a day, and you become such good friends with people, and you just don't want to think about anything bad ever happening. So we're all looking forward to getting you back on your feet again. And if not, we're going to make you watch lots of Stargirl and P Hard season 3.
I won't let them do it to you, Clobby. Clobby, just so you know, Nick Weiser just walked through the door, and RJ Godzilla 81 says, Clobby, I wanted to say hi and I love you. We all need you to pull through. So RJ Godzilla 81, he's pulling for you, Clobby, and he wants you to rest, but he wants you to get well, and he wants you to fight. He says he wants you to make a complete recovery, and you are, and it's going to be magnificent.
For sure, yep. So yeah, it's just it's tough having a friend that's hurting and needs time to get better, and of course we're separated by long distances, although we spend so much time together, with this great technology, where and a lot of times, as I was saying before, we'll hang out for hours and hours after streams. I mean, we'll at least an hour, half hour, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get to bed, and I just cherish those times. And just thinking of on Sunday night or Saturday night, Sunday morning, saying goodnight, and it's just looking forward to speaking to the Clobberin Times again and sharing all these great memories. And I didn't get to talk to you about the new Doctor Who yet, so you were supposed to come on and talk to me about that new Doctor, that great new Doctor Who episode.
Well, we're calling it Dr. What for right now. I'm just going to run through a few of these, please.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
go for it.
Mark.
No, go for it.
Max, after giving multiple gifts this evening, gives a 7:35 gift for the 7:35 Club. He says, Clobby, I'm going to drive to LA. I'm going to find Rick Berman and using Mr. Plinkett voice say, I'll say, F you, Berman, you ruined Star Trek. I love you, Mike. And just a whole bunch of people rushing in the room to say, hang tough, Clobby. You're going to get through this, Clobby. We're about to break 700 people here, Clobby. There are 700 people here who love you.
Wow. That's amazing.
Comics Division just walked through the door. Comics, it's so good to see you. I haven't talked to you in so long. How have you been? He says P Hard season 3 is great, and I want you here to tell me I'm wrong, Clobby. Prayers to you. You'll get through this. You hear that, Clobby? Comics Division is here, and he wants to trash. He wants to trash the P Hard, the Poopy Stew, part 3.
Oh, we have so much fun talking about and I actually watched that with Mike live. When it came on, I was like, we got to watch this together, and so we're streaming it on Disney, and watching it together and comment. That was some of the most fun times, just hanging out and doing that and and making fun of things, and probably some of the most fun. Clobberin Times comes with great names for everything. So Strange New Worlds was Strange Nude Worms, and we had a lot of fun talking strange nude worm, and sometimes I'll call things like strange nude worms, and I got to catch myself when I'm talking about it.
Clobby calls it
People-
strangled nude worms.
Yeah, strangled. He always comes with great.
SFXF31 Sabertooth Raptor says, "Good night, everyone. I just wanted to say hello to Clobby. He will recover. He is going to recover. You betcha he is." And my buddy, oh, it's so good to
Toxic
see
Man
you.
Flu is here.
Toxic Man Flu is here. TMF, I love you. And you wouldn't believe what he just did. Such a generous gift. Toxic Man Flu just bought 10 memberships. If you would like to join the channel, Clobby is a comic book expert and an old-fashioned Southern gentleman who is just absolutely brilliant. So please avail yourselves of those memberships given by Toxic Man Flu. TMF, I love you. Please tell your wife that I said hello, and thank you so much for being here. Hear that, Clobby? TMF.
And what did he just post? That Alternative Factor was his favorite movie? His favorite Star Trek episode, I mean?
But only if he's listening to Reba McEntire while he's
you were at the
watching
Reba concert. Yeah, we always talk about that was one of the most fun Saturday Night Star Treks in history, with the Toxic Man Flu making all those great jokes about Lazarus falling off of things and Lazarus's beard, and that was a super good fun.
Listen, back when YouTube was at its wildest, Toxic Man Flu used to wrench for my buddy Drew. And Toxic Man Flu was so wonderful and so funny, and just he just kept everything in order, and he just made the show so much better. He's a really good and loyal friend to one and all. I just want to shout out Mr. Tickle Trunk, who just, you guys, this is so generous, gave out 5 Clobberin Times memberships, and Wes Cagle sent a super sticker to you, Clobby. And Toxic Man Flu is now yelling at me because he can hear Reba in his head. And he says that he's scared. But Mr. Tickle Trunk is not showing any mercy. He's just yelling, extra, extra Reba. So we need more Reba just for TMF.
And even Captain Bangway, who I just put in the frame. So we're getting some things out there. And even Captain Bangway is wishing Clobberin Times the best and speedy recovery. Otherwise, we're going to feed you Neelix food if Neelix is cooking.
Yeah, that's not going to be good. Stephen Mack just got here and he says, "Is Clobby okay?" Stephen Mack, Clobby had a cardiac arrest, and he's in hospital, but he is getting the best care. His son is with him. His daughter is with him. His whole family is with him. And we, thanks to his incredible son, we are there with him tonight. His son is letting him listen to this broadcast in his hospital bed. And we're all really looking forward to Clobby waking up. And we just love him very much. So he can hear everything that I'm saying. So if you want to say anything to Clobby, you let me know and I'll read it out to him, okay? Because I know he'd love to hear from you, Stephen Mack. We have such great fun with you on all of our shows. And Loki is here. Clobby, Loki's here. He says that he's praying for you, and that he loves you. Loki's here, Clobby, and so's the lovely Sherry. The lovely Sherry's here as well.
Hail to Sherry, yeah. And it was good talking to you today, Loki. I was finally just said, no, let me reach out to some people in person, because we didn't want to respect, not having the news get out there all at once. And so it was, Loki was a big help today. It's been a big help to talk to a lot of people, and just makes things that slightly easier, knowing how much support there is out there for Clobberin Times, Mike. I mean, it's great having so many people show so much support and love for him and his recovery. While we had some fun tonight, you know, because he would have clobbered us if we didn't talk about comics a little bit. So thank you, Raquel, for that idea. So it's yeah, it's been an emotional roller coaster. So I know got a lot of people joining us. So as Raquel said that, yeah, and the family has posted that or let it be known that he did have a heart attack and is in the hospital, but he can hear us right now thanks to Jonathan, who's got his cell phone going. And I know it does help people, you know, when the recovery, it does help those good messages and hearing familiar voices and
That's right.
voices of love and appreciation. So I know that that does help, and it's hopefully some of these messages. I know some of these messages got through to him tonight, and
They did.
it's just wonderful outpouring from everyone, and it is it's a wonderful life moment too when you don't realize how many people you've touched, and Mike never wants any, as we keep saying, any credit or any accolades,
No, he
or
does not like
he's so
that.
modest. And I say, you know so much about comics, it just, you know, and I'm just a puny human next to him in terms of his knowledge, and yeah, and Eric K's got a now you really got to get better, because get back soon, because he's gonna put pictures of your Wesley Crusher shrine on TV. So yeah.
Clobby, I have a message from Jesus Davila, or Jesus, however he pronounces it. He says, Clobby, he said, first of all, Clobby, he sent you a really nice gift. He says, Clobby, I wish you a speedy recovery and hope everything turns out well. I've had some questions regarding Barry Allen, and who better to ask than you, Clobby, a man with vast comic book knowledge. So you're definitely going to have to get well and have this marvelous conversation with Jesus or Jesus. Thank you so much for that beautiful gift. And I know that it meant a lot to Clobby to hear from you.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And
Stephen
Nick
Max
Wise is,
says, get well, dude. We love you. And just like Mark was saying, Eric is bugging you about your Wesley shrine again. So people it's going to get out that you have a Wesley shrine, thanks to Eric.
yeah, it could be dangerous. Yeah, or that he owns a lot of Funko Pops.
Oh, you guys, look, the Wesley Shrine's bad enough. Do not say that he likes Funko Pops. Oh, shin kicks.
And that's one of the things we still have to do. I bought a box of Funko Pops, the little mini Funko Pops, Fantastic Four, and you know, I never, you know, you always make excuses, but you get busy and you got things going on, and I wanted to do that maybe April Fools. You know, maybe I'll do it for April Fools next year, so by then people have forgotten this. But a bunch of Funko Pops and do Clobberin Times favorite Funko Pops, and it's the FF line, but they're little cute little mini Funkos, so they're not that bad. But I bought a box of them, and then they're random, so got to figure out what you know. You open them up and see what's in there. And Sherry likes Funko Pops, and I have a bunch of Funko Pops.
You know
too,
what
so.
Clobby would say to this? Geez, Mark, Funko Pops. That's exactly what Clobby would say. And Andy Masterson wants Clobby to know, Clobby, your Jack Kirby figure is almost done. So you hear that, Clobby?
Awesome,
Andy Masterson is here, and your Jack Kirby figure is almost ready, and he's really excited to send it to you. And I'm excited to talk about it and see it. Andy Masterson is here. And Clobby, Tom, he just sent a message to you. Tom Connors is here, Clobby, and he said, "I love you, Clobby. You are my brother. You need to get better because Mead needs you. You are always too humble to take compliments and praise, but I look up to you. Please keep fighting for us." I love you, Tom.
Thank you. Yep. Thank
you
you,
hear that,
Tom.
Clobby?
Yep.
Mead needs you, and Tom needs you, and I need you. We all need you. I love you, Tom. Thank you for that.
For sure. Yep.
I think that's it for now. I think we're all caught up. Mark,
All
sorry
cut
about
up.
that.
Yep. Oh no, don't be sorry. Yep. But you know, Where's our Claude did this, so this was another fun one. You know, if I get into trouble, yeah.
God damn it, Mark.
That's the go-to when we
the
something
Funko Pop comment. You're darn right he would do that. He would definitely
Oh,
play
he
that.
would.
He would have interrupted you while you were talking, and he would have played that.
He
Maximum
would've, yeah.
Redstone says Clubby's Neelix and Kess's obelisk. Really? And E. Clay Thomason has sent a nice gift for you, Clubby. And he says, Clubby, we love you, brother. Everyone I know is praying for you. So get well soon. And
Well, here, let me play this because I know that that comment about the Wesley Shrine would have triggered this video.
I have had enough of you!
That was a fun one. That was a fun one. To
Clubby
do,
loves that one. TMF wants to say something to you, Clubby. TMF says, get better, Clubby. Mrs. Flute wants to go to another Reba concert, and TMF needs you to stream so that he can get through it. So, I mean, TMF needs you. You're his Reba McEntire bro. You're going to have to do another show. You're going to have to make him laugh as he tries to get through it. So TMF is here, Clubby. You hear that, honey?
Yep. So TMF is in the house. Yep.
Yes, he is.
And how about this is another fun clip that I just Mike always loved playing.
Can it Corey Apple? Oh, it can Corey Apple.
That's another love of Jackie Gleason, and we all share, and that's one of the all-time classic episodes when Jackie Gleason, you know, the honeymooners is trying to sell the gadget of the future, chef of the future. So that's a fun fun clip and fun. If you ever watch a honeymooners episode, watch that one.
Clobby, Nick has to go. So he's saying goodnight to you, and he's sending his best, and Nick is thinking of you.
And Tom sums this up very well too. He says, "I love you, Clobby. You're my brother. You need to get better. Mead needs you. You're always too humble to take compliments, here, and praise. But I look up to you. Please keep fighting for us." So, yeah, he never wants to take the compliments, and I always tell him how you know so much about. I don't know anything. I got a 3rd grade education, and I can't remember anything. He's like, you're very wrong on that front. But thank you, Tom. That's so heartfelt and so nicely said. And he's a great friend and to all of us here. And Tom was a standout guy, and was reaching out to me with some messages this morning. And everyone, you know, sending well wishes, and I know these messages are getting through to you, and he's going to be. I'm glad he's going to be mad when he reads all these at one point, because he's going to be infuriated by all these super chats and memberships. But I'm glad we're making him angry tonight in a good way. Yeah, I know he'd be like, darn it.
He won't be mad. Not about this. No, not the.
No, I'm saying that as a joke.
Yeah,
he wouldn't, but he might.
We did it his way.
Yeah, he might say it though. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Southern Belle. Southern Belle says, "Hey, Clobby, wake up. Wesley Crusher was a hunk. Love the Deep Space Nine chats." Southern
Right.
Belle, so happy that you enjoyed yourself. And Chief Shadow 1750 says, "Hey, I just want to send my prayers to Clobby." Well, Chief Shadow 1750, Clobby can hear you, and so can the great perhaps. Chief Shadow 1750 says, "I've only known Clobby for a short period of time, and I'm shocked about what happened. And I pray for him and wish him a full recovery." Well, he can hear you because thanks to his amazing son, who is playing this show over a cell phone in Clobby's hospital room. So thank you, Lisa. Hugs right back, sweetheart.
Thank you, Lisa. Yep. And shout out to you. Hope you're feeling better. Know you had some stuff just say stuff, and hope you're. I know you're on the mend and getting better, but I hope every day's. I hope every day is a little bit better because we got to get you back on late night Fortnite. And one of the fun things that we did way in the past too was play Fortnite with Clobberin Times. I think Jed was on with us, and Dadman, of course, was there, and Mrs. Dadman, and maybe some other friends. I'm forgetting who. Fat Steven, maybe. We got Clobberin Times to try to play Fortnite with us once in a while. And the controller wasn't working; he couldn't really play, but we just had fun. We don't care, just hang out with us and talk to us. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We haven't tried to do that in a while, and I think one time we told him about Fortnite on his computer, and I think we slowed down his computer, bogged down his old
He told me about
computer.
that. He's
Yeah, I
like,
was like, damn it, Mark.
why did they invite me to that?
But we wanted to hang out with him, so
yeah, I know, but he only likes one video game.
yeah,
It's
Madden football.
It's the no, it's he actually has a video game that he likes, but I can't remember if it's
I
called.
thought it was Madden, the football.
No, well, he likes that one. He's always
Yeah.
liked that one, but he has an actual video game that he likes, and I can't remember if it's
We did play the
Spider-Man
Batman
or if it's
Batman
Batman,
Arkham,
but it's
Batman
this.
Arkham
It's
Asylum. He played through. Yeah, he told me. He
yeah,
played
it's
that one through.
super old school, and yeah, and the modern ones he can't play that.
Yeah.
He just immediately messaged me. It's like, why did they invite me to that? And of course, he
Yeah.
loved being invited, but he's not good at video games, and he just anyway.
Yeah, it was controller would break, and then that was a season they had Superman in front. Like, why would Superman carry around a gun in a video game? Because they had all the characters. He's like, well, they have Silver Surfer, they have Captain America would had a gun in World War II, but yeah, it was crazy, crazy. It's like, what's going on here? Could you play as Superman? But to this day, whenever I play a Fortnite character or skin, you can change your skin for you Fortniters out there. I always use the Superman skin on all my characters, no matter what it is. So, yeah, that's a lot. It was a lot of fun playing with him in Dadman and Gang on those few times. He did play a bunch of times, and then he gave up. Or that's enough. Or he would stop in the chat and say, "Hello, ladies." That's what he would always. That's what he would always say. Yeah.
Is this Isa Melody? Anyway, he says, "Hey, Clobby, if anybody knows how to say this wonderful gentleman's name, please tell me." He says, "Hey, Clobby, I just talked to St. John. He said he'll see what he can do, but just for us, you should come back on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on back."
For sure. Yeah. For definite sure. Yeah. So yeah, it's just it was a shock to hear that news today, but I know he's hearing these messages, and yeah, we're teasing him, but it's all in good. That's when you become really good friends, and you can really tease people, and everyone's inside jokes and what gets them going. And I always love to rile people up in a lighthearted. He's like, "You like stirring stuff up, Mark. We use the S word, don't you?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Come on, admit it. You do like." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, I do like stirring stuff up, but and hopefully in a good." Hopefully in a good way, and in a fun, good-natured way. But I do kind of like doing that. But yeah, it's been a great time, and I can believe, but I can't believe how many people are watch. I do understand, but it's just it's just so nice to have so many people watching and sharing their great memories and well wishes again for our great buddy Clobberin Times, and hope everyone enjoyed seeing that my S box of comics from, or some of the S's from
You helped
my comic
Clobby pass
collection.
the time. We were right there
Yeah.
with him, and he heard everything that we said, and he heard all of the messages, and we helped him pass the night. It can be very boring in the hospital, and I know he's resting. And God willing, if he's up to it tomorrow, I hope that he will open his eyes, and he will spend the day resting and visiting with family, And yeah, that's what's going to happen. But he has to sleep for now. But I mean, he heard every single thing we said. And I hope that we were of some comfort to Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you so much for everything that you did today. And thank you, Ash, as well. I thanked her while she was here, but just thank you. You're both so gracious and loving and kind. Thank you for allowing all of us to be in Clobby's hospital room with him tonight. You are such a marvelous son, and your father loves you immensely, and he's very proud of you.
Well said. Yeah. Well said. Yep. Yep. And there's just been so many people in the chat tonight to acknowledge them all. We tried to, but I think we did a pretty decent job, I hope. And well, I think people are so understanding too. If we miss something or miss someone's comment, we try to go back and read them all. But there's just been, we've almost got 700 people combined watching this, which again is such awesome. Nice tribute. So yeah, clobber that. If you haven't clobbered that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm sure most of you here are subscribed to Clobberin Times, but yeah, just if you check if you're not, just make sure you sometimes the YouTube's gets weird with those what happens with the subs. So please do that and clobber that like button and all these messages and super chats when Clobberin Times gets around to reading them, and it's gonna make them feel even better, I'm sure. So thank you for that again, everyone. So
Jonathan is in the chat now, and he's saying thanks to everyone. Jonathan, thank you again, and try and get some rest, okay? And if you need anything, please phone me. And when it's appropriate, I will fly down. And I don't want to get in the way right now, but you just call out my name, and I'll be there, okay? Anything you need, please let me know. And I know I'm in Canada, but I can even help organize things.
You're basically on Europente, for
right. I am.
For how
no, I'm in. Clobby calls it Hoth. I live.
Hoth, yeah, Hoth is good
Hoth.
too. Yeah,
Clobby calls it Hoth. And Clobby, Loki just said you're going to get through this. You are, and I agree with Loki. You are going to get through this. I love you very much, Clobby.
Well, I remember when Clobby had the vid many years ago, and everyone got. And I think I was when I just met him and all these great friends now that I have, thanks to in large part to Clobberin Times, or getting to meet everyone. And I think it was Mexican Iron Man and Loki. I don't, maybe Paulie. I can't. I don't want to miss anyone, but I remember it's like, damn it, they sent me this basket, all this healthy food and stuff, and it was so nice of them to. Why did they send me all this? I'm like, because they want you to get better. They're not going to send you a basket of M&Ms. I mean,
he loves M&Ms. M&Ms are like.
Yeah, but it was like, if you're in, I don't know if he ended up in the hospital with it, but I know he was not feeling good for a while. So they
got quite sick.
Yeah, but it was one of those nice. And at that time, I don't think I was in personal contact. Hanging out with him on streaming yet. But
we hadn't dragged you. We weren't up to dragging you into our world quite yet.
Yeah, but I just remember him later telling me about that. It's like, it was so nice of everybody. They sent me so much healthy stuff.
I know. It's like Elisa just put laughing out loud Clobby and vegetables. And like Clobby is hysterical because he's so articulate and so polished when he's speaking about comic curation or art or things like that.
Yeah.
But it's so funny when he sees vegetables because he's like, ooh, pick off that green stuff. It's literally how he reacts. It's so funny. Oh, it's just hysterical.
Yeah, because I was showing, I love to have the foodery segment, and I was showing,
eatery?
Eatery segment, Sunday night eatery, and And he's like, "Why is there green stuff on your pizza? A
Yeah,
couple
the
parsley
green
flakes is
stuff.
all right, but
Get the
what's with the
green
green
stuff off the
stuff?
plate. What's that green
What's the
stuff?
basil? What's the basil on there for?
Get
Yeah,
that off of there. Take that off. And Dyrus has sent a very nice gift for Clobby, and he says, Clobby, get well soon. Get well. We still need you to tell us Marvel's great writers other than Stan Lee. Excelsior.
yeah, yeah. I'm still waiting for that Stan Lee script to show up somewhere. Yeah.
Jonathan says, I try my hardest to feed this damn man vegetables. I know, we try too. We try too. Like, he gets so mad, but it's like Loki said, he's stubborn as an ox. It's
Yeah.
just Jonathan. It's just hysterical. He's physically repulsed by vegetables. But he does like that crazy place that you take him to that has the amazing salad bar. But then he always laughs his ass off because he's like, when Jonathan and I go to that salad bar, it's like I'm not even eating a salad anyway after I put everything on it that I like.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Yeah, if you go to those salad bars. I remember one time I went with my good friend Brian, and we went to a salad bar at this grocery store, Stu Leonard's famous grocery store around here, and we're like, let's go cheap tonight. We'll get salads, and we ended up, I think, spending. This was in college days. We ended up spending like $40, and the woman couldn't believe how much weight, because they weigh your plate at the end at the
Oh
salad
my
bars. Like,
gosh.
we like had like a 5-pound plate each or whatever the heck
I
we did.
know.
So sometimes those salad bars, you
He
load them
loves
up.
the salad bar. I mean, it's the only way to get him to eat anything green.
But then you put all the bacon bits on them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
I think he like the place that Jonathan takes him to, it's like it's a really nice salad bar place. So you can like put like a chicken breast on it. You can put, like Clobby said, there's meat. Like, it's more
Yeah.
than just bacon bits. This is not like Pizza Hut in the 1990s. It's more than bacon bits. Like the place that he goes, you put like a meal on a piece of
Yeah.
lettuce. Clobby calls that a salad.
Yeah, well then you add the bacon bits, and then you add like you can have macaroni in the salad, and you add so that's salad when he's done with it, it's ranch
Yeah.
soup. Yeah. And those are
So
some good salads. Yeah.
Loki says, Clobby, you can't let down all those girls at Twin Peaks, brother. He's
Oh
smooth,
yeah.
isn't he, Loki? With women, he's very smooth. That's when you can tell he's a Southern gentleman. Especially if the
Yeah,
girl's hot. If the girl is
Yeah.
hot, Clobby is smooth as silk.
he melts the women, right? Yeah.
He does.
You can tell too, but yeah, by the reaction everyone has. Yeah.
Jonathan says it's not a salad when he's done with it. It's ranch soup.
Yeah, right. Put some sea bugs on there for him.
Oh God, Jonathan, that's hysterical. I could just imagine it because he's described it. And I'm like, why are you eating like that? It's like, it's good. It's just, poop would taste good if you put that much dressing and cheese and bacon
Well, I don't
on
know
it,
if we go
Clobby.
that far. I would not go that far, but yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. Max sends Clobby a $10 gift, and he says, 2 years ago, I was a part of an improv group, and I thought it was family, and I was accepted. I was wrong. They cast me out. Clobby, you give us all a space to know we aren't wrong, even when we don't all agree. Max, Clobby loves you so much, and he loves the limericks that you do for us for Saturday
Yeah.
Night Star Trek, and you've been such a good friend to him. And he loves that you love Blake 7 as much as he does, and it's just something very special that you two share. I mean, I love Blake 7, but I can't sit there and recite every single script from A to Z or Z. Look at what you guys are doing to me. Now I say pajamas instead of pajamas, and now I'm saying Z instead of Z. I'm turning American.
Next thing you know, you're going to be counting in inches instead of that silly metric. You're going to be drinking English pints instead of metric beers from Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Classic Comics says that he has to call it a night. And he's saying good night to everyone. And he says he'll see you in the morning, Clobby.
And also Comics Division too says
Oh, Comics is leaving?
both, yeah, and I think a bunch of people are heading out. Yeah.
Good
Prayers
night,
for you, Clobby.
Comics. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. You were such a good and loyal friend. Thank you, Comics. Good night, sweetheart.
And also D Bud, I think the Man of Iron is headed out too.
Good night, D Bud.
Let's see if I've got. Here's D Bud's the Wrench of Iron is.
He is the Wrench of Iron. And D Bud Martin, it sounds like this is something Clobby might hear. He says, past my bedtime. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for being here for Clobby. He'll beat this, just like the Thing beat Dr. Doom in FF number 40. Spock. D Bud Martin, Clobby heard you. Clobby heard you.
Maybe you can put Mirror Mirror after the show's over. We play Mirror Mirror for Clobberin Times over and over and over because that's his favorite Star Trek episode. And he just did the ranked his favorite Star Trek episodes.
He did.
Worst to first. He was very concerned. He told me because his ranking for the Cage was, I think, it was in the 20s.
He was worried that I was going to be mad at him.
Yeah, he was very worried that the Cage wasn't ranked. He's like,
mad at you. I love you.
He's gonna shin kick me for having the Cage not rated high enough. So yeah, I think it was it 26 or was it I think it was something pretty high like that. Oh, let me call it up because he did it, and I taught him how to use Google Sheets, so I made a spreadsheet for him. He ranked his episodes, so I have to. Oh yeah, why don't we show this for fun again? Everyone loves a good spreadsheet. I know Clobberin Times loves the.
Andy has to say goodnight. Andy Masterson is saying goodnight, Clobby. You hear that? Andy Masterson says, "God bless you, Clobby. I believe in you, bro."
Good night, Andy. Thank you so much for being here. Yep.
Oh, and Emperor's NM is here. Good evening. Sorry, it's a little bit crazy tonight, Emperor's NM. It's not really typical. You know, usually every single person who walks through the door gets a full greeting and a full conversation, but it's just, it's been a lot tonight. And I believe we broke 700 people from totaling from here and X. So it's been very busy, and I'm very sorry if we missed anyone or anything anyone said tonight. Please feel free to bring it to my attention again. And if you want to say something to Clobby before you go to bed, please let me know, okay?
So
Lisa, it's Mark. There it is, Mark.
Damn it, Mark, with your spreadsheets. But I know Clobberin Times would appreciate this. So he just did this show. So if you missed it, go watch it. It's just from was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Very recent show.
Last week.
Was last week because you were on an away mission. So
I had an away mission,
2 weeks ago. Yep. So he did this show, and I got to join him later in the show. And so his favorite episodes, of course, then as we talked about this, the difference between episode, the top 26 episodes, they're so close together. But his favorite, of course, is Mirror Mirror. Number 2 was Sitting on the Edge of Forever, Mock Time, Devil in the Dark, The Doomsday Machine, which is one of my favorites, Balance of Terror, Space Seed, Journey to Babel, The Corbinite Maneuver, and The Naked Time. Those are his 10 plusers. And I was jibing him. I'm like, the Galileo 7 should be much higher. But
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that people were giving him the years. But it's so funny because without me even being there, so many of ours were the same.
We're the same, right?
He was so close to me. We had so many episodes ranked identically.
Yeah. And the Cage, but see, he's got the Cage as episode 26, but he still gave it a 10.
He does, but he explains that as the fact that he had to put the menagerie together. And because the Cage didn't come out until 89, and that he just has so many fond memories of the menagerie. So, I mean, I let him pass on that. But
I would pass.
Yeah, he gets a pass. Plus he's my Star Trek soulmate. Rob writes, Gen X pop culture. It says, good night, Clobby. Praying for you. Get well soon. And RJ Godzilla 81 says, good night, Clobby and everyone. It's getting late over here. Clobby, I know you'll pull through. I can't wait to talk Godzilla -1 with you. I finally saw it last night. Good night, RJ
All right.
Godzilla 81. Thank you. Good night, Rob. Right?
Awesome. Yeah, because it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix right now, I think, too. Yeah, Godzilla -1 popped in on Netflix, so
No,
that's
nice.
yeah, so everyone could finally see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just great to talk about all these fun things that bind us all together. And that's the virtual Comic-Con comic book show that Clobberin Times wants everyone to enjoy. So and let's give him his worst episodes. And the children shall lead. The alternative factor. The Mark of
Hail,
Gideon.
hail.
Is there truth, no beauty? Lights as Atar. That which survives. Spock's brain. Cat's paw. The way to Eden and Cloudminders. And I was so proud that I got him to actually do this spreadsheet and taught him how to sort it. And
But you
he got it.
pronounced his number 74 wrong. Can you say that one again?
That which well, that
I'm sorry, it's that bitch survives.
survives.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I had to correct you. Clobby would.
Thank you.
Come on. Clobby calls that
Yeah.
episode "That Bitch Survives." Toxic Man Flu has sent you another gift, Clobby. He
Wow.
says, "Wait, I thought Spock's brain was Clobberin Times' favorite episode. My thoughts are with his family, but also with you, Mark, and you, Raquel. Friends are family too. P Hard Season 3 stunk." And then TMF says, "I need to go to bed." And he is awaiting the good news in the morning. And there will be good news in the morning. Clobby's going to wake up and we're all going to demand that the doctor gives him ice cream. Thank you so much for everything, TMF. Good night, sweetheart. And tell Mrs. Flu we said hello.
Good night. Good night. Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much.
Hear that, Clobby? TMF's going. Yeah, maybe you should get a hold of Jonathan privately and tell him about Mark Flicks, and maybe Jonathan could play him some Blake 7. We just broke 700. We just broke 700,
Wow.
Clobby. Can you believe it? 700 people are here for you, Clobby. Yeah, maybe we could help Jonathan pass some time by playing Clobby the Blake 7.
For sure. Yeah, I think he has it on his phone. I think he has it on
That's
his
what
phone,
that's what I was thinking. Like if you told Jonathan about Mark Flicks on Clobby's phone, he'd be able to watch the Blake 7.
It's nothing like Cinemax at night. Skinemax at night. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Mrs. Flu is here. Clobby, Mrs. Flu is here. You always love it when the women show up. You love it when the wives come. And Mrs. Flu sent you a nice gift, Clobby. She says, just because. So she just wants you to have the gift just because. And she says, and sending healing love and thoughts. Hello and love to all. Mrs. Flu still loves us, even though we tease her about Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
Love you, Mrs. Flu. Thank you for everything. That's so kind of you. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah, it was they're at the Reba concert. And
yeah.
EMF was posting, I'm stuck at a Reba McEntire concert. A lot of people love Reba. Come on, yeah.
Oh no, Smilex always says that I'm his mom and Clobby's his dad. He's an otter. He's a wonderful otter, and he otter no. He says love and hugs to my surrogate internet dad. You're the best. Clobberoo, rest up and hurry back to us, sir. Yeah. Nice message, Smilex. Hear that, Clobby?
Thank you very much.
Our kind otter has shown up.
And Mrs. Fu says, I love Reba. You know, one of my college roommates loved the Reba show. We'd make fun of him. Like, what are you watching tonight, Steve? His name was Steve. Not Steve Mitchum. And like, I'm watching Reba. Leave me alone.
Mrs. Flu is a salt of the earth person. And Wes Kegel says that he wants to send you love from Avon. He says, I am not expendable. I am not stupid. And I'm not going.
Well, I think we need to play that clip.
You got to play that.
One of Clobberin Times' favorite ones. So where's that one hiding on on here because usually he's the one that's controlling this. So where's that should be in the top here. Where did it go? Well, here we'll play this because I know he loves the intro to the.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
That's his one of his favorite clips.
That's his thing.
And where is Avon hiding?
I don't know.
You know, sometimes when you look for something, you can't. I know mine in order. Oh, here we go. I found it.
Why don't you go?
You are expendable.
And you're not.
No, I'm not. I am not expendable. I'm not stupid. And I'm not going.
And we could tempt him with buttery toast.
We could.
We could, yeah. No, where's that one?
Would anyone like some toast?
Yeah. Cue the toast machine. Let's see here.
Talk a toaster.
I'll see you toast on the fires of hell for this.
Did someone say they wanted toast?
Shut up.
This is cruel. It's
Look,
just cruel.
I'm busy.
Oh, you're not busy eating toast, are ya? Would you like some toast?
Mm-mm.
Some nice hot crisp brown buttered toast.
Right?
Steve
some of the best,
Mitchum
yep.
has to leave. He says, regretfully, I have to wake up early to get Maddie ready for school. Do you hear that, Clobby? Steve has to get Maddie ready for school. And he says, Clobby, as soon as you're ready, we'll jump on a plane, buddy. Yeah, me too, Steve. Maddie loves her Uncle Mike. And did you know tonight, this isn't a part of the message from Steve Mitchum, but Clobby, Maddie was asking if she was going to go on the plane to see Uncle Mike. She was asking Steve that earlier tonight. And Steve just wanted to say goodnight to everyone here. So he said, good night, good people. Steve, I'm sending you a hug and some love. Try and get some sleep, and please kiss Maddie for us. And we'll all talk soon.
We've got a question here from Eddie Galtek. I'm not sure how to say that name. He says, where was Conscience of the King? That was number 53 and got 5 stars. So just ahead of Man Trap and behind Miri. So 5s, I guess, are like C episodes for as Clobberin Times rated them. Yep. So and good night, Maddie's daddy. Yep. Try to have an okay day tomorrow. I don't know what to say, but yeah, it's
just try and get some sleep.
And say hi to Maddie. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you in the morning, and smooch Maddie for me. The most beautiful little girl ever. Oh, Maddie's daddy, Steve, if you walked away from the computer, you should know that Jonathan said goodnight. Okay, so
Max Red. So yeah, I'd like that. I'll have to bleep the F word out. It's a fantastic clip by Joe Pesci saying, you know what they say? They bleep you in the hospital. First they drug you, then they bleep you, and when they bleep you, the insurance company comes and bleeps you some more. I got to bleep. We can't have all the F's on the show.
Yeah, you can't have that.
But that is hysterical. I'll probably when I have time, I'll do it. And
yeah,
with
Clobby worked very hard to get into the advertising bracket that he's in by making sure that basically his channel is PG. And so if we ran all of that profanity, it would ruin years of his work, making it more like a professional radio show that you would hear locally. That has
that clip is hysterical though.
Broadcast standards and stuff. So we will have to bleepity bleep and bleepity bleep it.
Or you know what I could bleep it with? I could instead of using the bleeps, I could do something like put put this in the middle of it where it's you know, a little bit more interesting than a bleed. Like put Alan Moraines in it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Oh, this is the clip we were looking for earlier, Raquel.
What?
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
That's the one you were looking for, the scary guy.
Yeah, but that clip makes Clobby laugh.
Yeah, he loves that
Like
one,
when
yeah.
he plays it, and he's in the right mood, he chuckles, and it's like when Clobby chuckles, it's like hearing angels sing. I love making him laugh. Making him laugh is the highlight of my week. And so I wanted you to play that earlier because he loves it. Loves that clip.
And Loki says, I met Clobby through my wife, who at the time I barely knew. He was streaming about comics on this old system, not YouTube, probably Blog Talk Radio.
Blog Talk Radio, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know him there. I did my best to convince him to come over to YouTube. His show was so good, yeah, and I believe that Jonathan had kept telling him.
Jonathan wanted him on YouTube years before.
And he did say to me, like, Jonathan was right. I should have been on YouTube earlier. But of course, some of the BTR shows you can still find. Not all of them are there, but a lot of them are there. And we had posted some links in that anniversary channel. Some of the I'm trying to remember who it was, but dug up was the Ace Cast Iron, but you can find some of the links, and they're still in there. So if you want to go listen to some old school BTR Clobby, which was Blog Talk Radio, which is basically like a talk radio system where you could have, I think, 10 callers at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been on a live show or listened to a live show, but people, I guess, could call in or could join the show versus YouTube when you're just in the chat here. But people could actually become guests, and he actually had some very cool guests on. He was always loves talking about how he met Parker Stevenson. Although I don't think he had Parker Stevenson on the BTR show, but he did have Nicholas, who played Spider-Man in the 70s, 1977. From The Sound of Music. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Blanking on the name.
The chat will tell you.
The chat will tell me in 2 seconds because
The chat will tell you.
Nicholas Hammond. My brain finally worked. But he did have Nicholas Hammond on.
You beat the chat.
Yeah.
Clobby would be so proud you beat the chat.
And I believe he had him on BTR too at one point. But yeah, there's some great shows on there, great stuff. So check that out and enjoy some old school Clobby. Yep.
Yeah, old school Clobby. Clobby, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Morris, he stopped in and he left the following message for you. He says, all love and positive thoughts sent to Clobby and his family and his friends. So Jeff Morris was here, Clobby, and he's sending his love and his support to you.
Thank you. Yep. Yep. So while we're up to 713 people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know how what you have planned for tonight, Raquel. If you want to wind it down or keep going for a little bit more, up to everyone in the chat. I don't know how we kind of just did this ad hoc, and
we did.
we weren't sure what. First, we said we'd go on for 5 minutes, but I think this is much better doing.
We wound
doing
up
the show
3.5 hours.
Yeah,
I think it's okay if we call it 3.5 hours, and maybe you and I should. Maybe we could talk off air about possibly doing this again tomorrow night, and maybe the next night as well. And I would like to be able to keep Clobby company. And I would like to be able to keep Jonathan company, but I think it's okay now. I hope that Jonathan will ask the hospital for a decently comfortable chair to sleep in, and and that we'll let Jonathan go to sleep. He should really try to go to sleep, but we should talk off air about, we don't even have to go public if you don't want to. I mean, I would like to keep Clobby's shows going when he's not here.
Well, his next show was scheduled. The only shows that he does, well, of course, he's so good. He schedules them all ahead. He does the Wild Card Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, and then of course we always do the Clubhouse every Thursday night together on his channel, and then of course always Saturday night Star Trek, and then we hang out on Sunday night Geekery, and that's our rotation.
Yep.
Of course, he's with J-Man, on J-Man's channel.
Yep.
Of course, on Tom on Midnight's Edge on Tuesday, I believe Tuesdays and Thursdays. So he's those are his shows, but he does just have those.
He does.
He does have those. Just he has scheduled through.
So let's talk off air about maybe doing something tomorrow night.
Well, I have Toxic Tuesday. Oh, I do have Toxic Tuesday.
You have Toxic Tuesday.
But I don't know. But I don't know if I'm going to do that. I got to talk to Nick or.
Okay.
We'll see what.
Let's arrange something.
But we can. But his typical night is Wednesday. His typical night is Wednesday and.
Yes, Wild Card
Thursday,
Wednesday. So if we could make it so that I can do it on my own if you're busy. So I'll make sure that we're doing his shows and keeping his shows going. But I was just saying, like, if you want to do something where we just hang out with Clobby and maybe watch a movie with him or something, I know it would help Jonathan pass the time, and I know it would be nice for Clobby to hear us talking to him. So it doesn't even have to be like a public thing, but just to let everyone know that Clobby and Jonathan are not going to be left alone at the hospital, that they're going to, it's really hard to be in a hospital and it's just very fatiguing and stuff. So maybe we should let Jonathan go to sleep. And like I said, if we want to entertain him.
We did a lot of great stuff tonight. And Jonathan saying, we'll turn the show on for him if you do. So, I think I can. And thankfully I'm an editor on the channel, so I think in StreamYard, I think I can actually, if I need to, and I think you can too, actually create a create a show if need. Typically, obviously, Mike just schedules all the shows and puts them in StreamYard, but I think we can actually do that since we have you can have a partner on StreamYard, so I believe we have access and. I have access to his on YouTube, this is inside baseball stuff, but just so we can actually keep things going until he gets back. Thankfully for having access. Otherwise, we'd have to bug Jonathan, and we would never want to do that.
He already has enough
I said to him this morning. I said the least of your, I'm sure least of your concerns is your dad's YouTube shows, but I think this was fun tonight, and
it was
hopefully encouraged a lot of people, and probably something we wouldn't have done unless it was scheduled, but I knew once 10 p.m. hit tonight on my time
they'd be looking for him.
We'd be looking for looking for him. So thank you.
So he doesn't do anything on Tuesday. So if you wouldn't mind, I would like to talk to you off air about arranging some type of a watch party where we can all talk and Clobby can hear us. And I know we've done that a couple of times before. So I would like to be able to arrange that with you tomorrow. I will take time to do that so that Clobby has some entertainment and so that Jonathan has some entertainment. And then we'll do Wildcard Wednesday and we'll fill out the rest of his week. As far as Saturday Night Star Trek goes, Clobby always tells everyone there is no Saturday Night Star Trek without Raquel. Well, there's no Saturday Night Star Trek without Clobby. So we can, on Saturday night, we can talk about Star Trek episodes. We can talk about our favorite Star Trek episodes, whatever have you. But just so that everyone here, because there are more than 700 of you here, I want you to know that we're going to continue doing this. Jonathan's saying the show is important to him, so it's definitely a concern for me. Jonathan, I totally agree with you. And I know that's what Clobby would want. And don't worry, I will fill out the rest of his shows, and Mark and I will arrange a watch party and for Tuesday, because he doesn't really do anything on Tuesdays. And
he does midnight set. So thank you for that, Tommy. I'll reach out to you if I can be there. I will be there. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be there to entertain Clobby and maybe watch some Blake 7 or something. But his hospital room will always be full of his friends talking, and hopefully we can keep Jonathan entertained. So we'll coordinate that in the background. And thank you so much for everything tonight, Jonathan. You really have to get a really nice pillow and a nice blanket and try to sleep. You must be absolutely friggin' exhausted. So, please try and close your eyes. Even if you don't fall asleep, Jonathan, at least try to rest. Do you know what I mean? And thank you for being so gracious tonight. And thanks to Ash, too, for everything that she did for everyone today. It was really, really kind.
Yep. For sure, yeah, for sure. So we'll figure things out as they go, and but it's helped me a lot to talk to everyone tonight in a small way. It was a rough day, and and is Canadian Spider-Man here?
He is.
Did he just pop in? Hail to Canadian Spider-Man. Yep. So thank you for being here, and he does whatever Canadian Spider-Man can, and I can't do that half as good as Clobberin Times, but that's great. Great to have you swinging in here. But I think this is probably a good time to, even though the crowd keeps growing, which is amazing. I think it's a good time to say goodnight to everyone, so we can all get some rest. And as I always say, it got late early.
It did. I just want to thank everyone who came tonight. I want to thank you for your love. I want to thank you for your gifts. I want to thank you for your time, your thoughtfulness, your camaraderie, and just speaking with such open and kind hearts. I want to thank you for your loyalty, and I want to thank you for your friendship. And I want you to know that Clobby is hearing everything that you are saying, that we are saying. And tomorrow I'm going to get together with Mark, and we're going to arrange a little watch party. So even if other people are doing stuff on their other channels, Clobby's channel will keep going until he wakes up, and we will be with Jonathan, and we will be with Ash, and we will be with Clobby in the hospital room, and he will hear us. And I'm committed to making sure that happens. So if you are a regular listener of Clobby's shows, just know that you will be able to contact him. You'll be able to hang out with him. You'll be able to say things to him, and we're going to keep the home fires burning. A big bonfire. It's not just a home fire; it's a bonfire. We love him, and he's going to wake up, and he's going to get better, and we love him very much.
Well said. Well said. Yep. Yep. So, but of course, with Clobberin Times' sense of humor, he might have just played, or he wouldn't do that to you, but if I said something heartfelt like that, he might play this clip.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
Only if I was complimenting him. Only if I was complimenting him.
And Lisa's got an important question. Do I have to watch Voyager this week?
No, because
there won't be any reviews.
Yeah, Clobby says, Clobby always says there's no Saturday night Star Trek without Raquel. Well, I'm here to say there's no Saturday night Star Trek without Clobby. We don't go anywhere without our captain. Okay, there is no Saturday night Star Trek without Clobby. Saturday night Star Trek was something that he and I thought of together. It's something that we wanted to do together. We knew it was going to take like 4 or 5 years to do it. It's just something.
Do you remember
that we
how
do
bad
together.
Voyager was at the time?
It's just something that we promised to do together, even if no one watched. So it's not the same without him. So we won't be covering the episodes. We're just going to pause. It's gonna be a pause.
We'll do Trek Talk whenever you're not there.
We're still going to do Trek Talk.
He
Because like
calls
you
it,
said,
Trek talk, that he loves,
yeah,
that's when they did the ranking the episodes. He's like, "Well,
yeah,
we can't review
exactly.
them with Raquel
We'll
not there.
find stuff to talk about.
Something Star Trekky."
Yeah, and the most important thing is that you're all in a room together. Clobby knows that you're all in a room together. Jonathan has it turned on his phone, and Clobby is hearing all of us. He hears when Lisa walks in the room. He knows that Max sent a limerick. He knows that Tom sent a message. All of these things. He knows that Gary came in the room and that Doomcock came in the room and said hello. He's hearing all of this. And so it's incredibly important to me that I keep the channel going, but the content has to pause as we take time to be in the hospital room with him. And so we're going to find stuff to do, and it's going to be fun. And I think we should do a watch party, even though he doesn't stream on Tuesdays, because I don't want Jonathan there alone. And I don't want Clobby there alone. I want to hang out with him in his room. Okay? So we'll get all that handled, and we'll let you know. Just go ahead and follow me or Mark on X, and we will keep you up to date, and you will be able to walk in the room and say hello to Clobby and say goodnight to him and tell him that you love him, and it will be business as usual. Okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, damn it, Mark. Jeez.
Damn it, Mark.
Yeah, and Trek Talk works for me, says Lisa. Yeah, I think we'd all use a break from Voyager.
Yeah. Maybe we'll come up with a topic or something. We'll
figure something out.
We'll figure something out, Lisa. Okay.
We'll always have. We'll do some Star Trek enabling maybe too along the. There's a couple of new products coming out that I can
cool.
hold on to your wallets. Yep.
Your Muslim uncle. That's very kind of you to say. Clobby is one of my best friends that I've ever had in my life. I love him so much, and it's an honor and a pleasure to do this for him and for Jonathan and Ash and his family. I just love that family. They're just the sweetest people, and yeah. And thank you for being here to support it, and thank you for talking to Clobby. Your words are so important to him and for him. So, thank you very much. You're a good friend.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think it's a good time to say, for me also to say goodnight to everyone, and thank you for all your kind words towards Clobberin Times, because I know he appreciates that, and he's going to be one of these people making a fuss out of me for, but you deserve it, Clobberin Times, and such a good friend, and we've become very, very close these last few years, and you have ups and downs in life, and my dad had cancer, and that was a big blow to me. And you realize too when someone's gone how much you appreciate him. So I was having some rough times, and then one of my best friends in life, who was also like my Star Trek buddy, and my guy that would quote movies with Ghostbusters, and best man at my wedding, he drank himself to death a few years ago too. So I was going through some bad times, and meeting Clobberin Times and Raquel and all you guys kind of pulled me out of a funk too. I never really said it in so many words, but I was really not in a good place, and it did really help. I have a lot of great friends and around here too, but it was just such a big help to be able to have that outlet, and especially with COVID, you couldn't go anywhere. Like you couldn't see your friends or go out and socialize, and it was such a great outlet to have that and to meet everyone, and meet so many special people. So and Mike is we become one of my best friends. And us guys, we don't use all those terms like maybe sometimes the ladies do, although maybe we should. But I do really love the guy, and hope he hears this, and hope and I've never said that to him, but we've said, oh yeah, we just guys you're good. Oh, you're okay, but don't get too close. Don't what are you giving me a hug? Go away. But and I think he knows that, and he understands that. But just hopefully I know he's hearing this, and that'll help us all get through this, and prayers for him, and we got to watch. Get to watch Mirror Mirror a few more times again. So
And Blake 7 and The Prisoner.
And then Stargirl. You owe me Stargirl.
Jonathan, good night. And all of us are thanking you. And try and get some rest, okay? Even if you don't sleep, please at least try and just close your eyes, get a nice pillow and a blanket. Hopefully they've given you a decent chair to sleep in, and just close your eyes for a little while and just rest. And hopefully, I'm hoping that you will fall asleep. You must be exhausted, and I'm thinking of you. And if you need anything, please phone me, okay? Because like I said, even though I'm in Canada, I can organize things and get people together to do things. So if you need anything at all from me, Jonathan, just don't be afraid to call on me, okay?
Yep. Here is well said. Yep. And yeah, Max, I am going to sign up for the WNBA draft. Yep. But I think that's a good note. I'm going to play a couple of Clobberin Times' favorite clips, and I guess what does he play for the outro on?
The same thing that I made for him.
Even the same thing on the
Yeah.
way in, right? Yep. But I'm gonna play a couple of his favorite. I'm gonna try to do it justice, but let's do a couple of, and I know how he does play that last one, but again, I appreciate everyone here, and thank you for everyone. Thank you for sending all that support to Jonathan and his family, because they're the ones that need it, along with Clobberin Times. So the word. Oh, here, let me find the word. That's under Blake 7.
The word.
Yep. Let me see where that is hiding. There's so many good Blake 7 clips. I was going to ask Mike to go through it and take some of them out, because we have too many. Here we go.
The word. One false move, I'll be so crisped up, what's left of me won't fit into a sandwich.
I'm a vegetarian. Thanks for the offer, though. Well, I'd say so anyway.
A 5th grade ignorant, and you would say so, would you?
Well, I never had a chance, did I? I chose the wrong parents.
Be quiet, Villa.
Why ask my opinion in the first place?
Actually, nobody did.
That's the last time I stand up for you.
I'm sorry I missed that. It's the kind of natural stupidity no amount of training could ever hope to match.
Do you think you could forget your superiority complex for a moment and get on with it?
All right. I'm afraid you can. It's the one talent we all share, even you.
I think I'm going to...
Blake is sitting up in a tree, Travis is sitting up in another tree. Unless they're planning to throw nuts at one another, I don't see much of a fight developing before it gets light.
You could have won, Blake. All you needed was guts.
That's the last you'll ever see of it.
No, I'm coming back.
I know Mike would appreciate those. Let me play the outro here, and thank you again, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next Clobberin Times show. Let me play.
Clobberin Time! Clobberonimo!
Come get some. Groovy.
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
I just love Clobberin Times.